now on 710, we're taking off with 9 hours of live and local LA sports talk.
The home of the 9-hour LA Sports Mega Block.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
We call it the LAX, LA Sports Mega Block. Of course, powered every day by LAX, Los Angeles International Airport, where change arrives daily. Let's get to it. Time to get in the air. We're taking off, LA.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Travis and Sliwa has clearance right now.
Yeah! How you feeling this morning?
Somebody get this man a cup of coffee.
I'm ready.
Somebody get this man something.
I have a big high school football game tonight. I don't know if the rest of you are worthy of my attention for the next several hours.
Are they the Lions?
The Dolphins.
Make a dolphin noise.
I will. I can't do it on cue.
Well, I
will.
was saying it to Emma.
Oh, yeah. Emily can do her dolphin.
I don't know if she has one.
I don't know.
That's a very sick dolphin.
I don't know how to do
That needs to be
it.
seen by a marine biologist as quickly as possible. That did
That
not
dolphin's
sound
on the way out, everybody.
That is a dying, sick, sad dolphin.
We've had two conversations so far.
Yeah.
One that you were just like, Slee, I had a lot of coffee so far this morning.
And look, there's more right here.
And here's the funny thing, because I think we're both on
Shit.
the same page with this. You reach a point where the coffee doesn't do anything.
Right.
It doesn't sound like that's going on with
Not
you.
yet.
Like you were basically doing jumping jacks.
was
Corey,
walking
did
around
you
with
see him
the
doing
bat.
burpees? The guy was doing burpees
Yeah,
down
when I
here.
got here, I was like, why are you huffing and puffing? He's like, I just finished the workout. That's exactly what happened.
If walking back and forth to the bathroom because I can't stop, that might be a workout. That's look, the caffeine has gone to a certain place. It's too much. I'm just saying.
That was conversation number one. The other conversation was, there's a lot going on tonight in your world.
There is. It's big night. It's opening. It's the home opener for the Dolphins. I'm very excited. You know, you can't really have a football game without a public address announcer.
Sure.
I think we can all agree on that. So I'm very, very excited to do it tonight. Very excited. My buddy Greg and I are going to go see what we can do and hope it doesn't go terrible, and we'll go from there.
Hopefully you got the roster.
Well, I just got it. Hold on.
Oh, they just sent it to you?
Well, I got something. It is the football announcing script for today's date against Laguna Beach. Yeah.
Now, do you respond back and say something to the effect, guys, I need this on Thursday. Not going to say it again.
At the bottom of that, does it say questions and concerns? Please email me back. No?
Well, I will. It has not been returned with my approval yet. I need to go through it.
That's awesome.
Make sure that the popcorn is priced correctly or whatever's going on at the game tonight. Can't wait. All right. Can I tell you a story?
Yes, sir.
I'm waiting for a phone call or a text from my wife.
Okay.
We did not see each other yesterday or this morning. I was out with my friends when she came home from work.
Okay.
By the time I came back from having a couple of drinks with my buddies, she had gone out with her friends. And by the time she got back with her friends, I was asleep. I left for work this morning. We haven't seen each other. Last night, I get back. I'm going to make some dinner. Okay. And we have some old rotisserie chicken that I'm going to put into a little pan and put some salsa verde in the pan and cook the chicken in the pan to kind of stew it, and I'm going to make a burrito with it. So I put the chicken in the pan, and I take the bottle of salsa verde out of the refrigerator.
Okay.
And you know how sometimes it can separate a little bit, right?
Yeah, the water.
The water rises to the top and the stuff goes to the bottom.
Yep.
I go to shake it.
Yeah. Not.
Lid was open.
I give it because it's the big bottle. It's the one with the handle, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
The lid was not on correctly, so I gave it a good hard shake. The entire side wall and floor
with salsa verde.
In salsa verde. Covered in salsa verde. Okay, so I'm like, all right, so I clean it up the best that I can. I'm not a great housekeeper.
Were you a couple? Does alcohol have anything to do with this?
2 beers.
Okay.
2
Because
beers.
I was going to
Totally
say,
fine.
It's always 2.
I was going to say, if there was a different number, I'm not sure if you're taking your tortilla and just like kind of wiping it off the wall and then right back to the rotisserie chicken.
That's a good idea.
It happens.
Look, had there been enough if the whole bottle had gone over there, I might have had no choice, right? So I'm cleaning it off the cabinets. I'm cleaning it off the kitchen. I'm cleaning it off the floor.
Salsa verde.
I'm cleaning it off the refrigerator. It looks like a salsa verde bomb had been detonated in my kitchen. It's everywhere. There's literally zero chance that I got it all.
Yeah.
There's zero chance
impossible
that I cleaned it all up. So I'm waiting for the text/phone call that said, what the hell happened here last night? Hasn't happened. So I must have cleaned it up a little better than I initially thought, but it wasn't like I spilled a little on the floor.
Yeah.
It looks like the house had been vandalized by salsa vandals.
Let me tell you why, as best as you did to try to clean it up, no matter what, it wasn't going to be enough.
Of course not.
What about the smell? Does it smell?
It smelled great.
I'm sure it smelled great.
If you can't see it, you're going to smell it.
Well, I was going to say, I think the only thing you got going for you is I'm pretty sure she didn't wake up this morning and say to herself, there's got to be salsa verde somewhere. There's got to be salsa verde on the walls.
Well,
or even if she smelt it, she's probably like, what the hell? What did somebody have for breakfast? And then she goes out the house. I can't wait for that story to be told to her.
I'm putting it to you this way: unless she's listening to the radio right now, which the odds are low, I think she's working today. If I cleaned it up well enough, and now enough time has passed, I can blame one of the kids.
Sure.
Then I don't know what happened.
It was Bobby.
Bobby seems like
it was Michael. There are options to blame some of them, but it wasn't just a few. It was I don't know how much was that 64 ounces or whatever. At least 40 of those ounces are on the wall of my house.
If we're going to continue to now, ask questions here, who do you think had the salsa verde last? Because
I'm the only one that eats it in the whole house.
So you didn't close it properly?
Oh, it's 100% my fault.
Look, what I was trying to get at is, what if, for all I know, Susan had it last. She used it last. She didn't close it properly. Then I was waiting for you to wake up in the morning, wake her up and say, this is ridiculous.
If it were literally almost anything else in the kitchen, I could pull that off because it's something that everybody uses.
Not this one.
I'm the only one that uses it.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Good burrito.
Let us know when the phone call comes through.
Good burrito. Little stewed chicken.
Can you put it on speaker if she does call?
Well,
I'd love to hear it.
It's only a matter of time. It may come. I doubt it's going to come during our show, but if it does, we'll put her on and see what she says.
Okay, I got a question for you then. So last night, grabbed some dinner, and we went to a place. We've gone to this place a few times. I think they sort of recognize us. There's a good chance that they don't.
Is it that same place that never recognizes
you? It's not that same
place.
Jorge, to fill you in, there was a place we've gone to probably 4 or 5 times, and every time we went there, they would say, "Hey, is your first time here?" I'm like, "It's the same server. Like literally, I saw you a week ago."
Also, is it also like something that like you need to know how to order there, or is it like? What kind of restaurant was it?
For yesterday?
No, the place that always
pizza, right?
Pizza shop.
Yeah, so like, why are you like, oh, have you ever been here before? I don't know. It's pizza. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, it's not like we gone to
a tapas place.
An Indian restaurant, right? Where you're not
I'm
familiar with the menu,
the special or anything like that. Okay, so yesterday we go to it's a completely different place. All right, what'd you do in this situation?
Oh, so it was your first time?
No, I've been at this place. It's not that restaurant, but it is another pizza spot. All right, this is a wood fire pizza place. I love that. I mean, I could have that literally 3 times a day.
It's pretty
I think
good.
Anybody can. Go to this place. I'm not good at these, okay? I'm good at telling you, but I don't want anything for it. I don't want you to change anything. Order our wood fire pizza. Bring the wood fire pizza out. Every time we've gone to this place, 10 out of 10. They hit every time. Pricing is right as well. It's very reasonable. You go during happy hour, really great specials, and the food's really, really good.
Great.
You don't feel like you're walking out saying, oh my gosh, I spent this much, whatever it was. Pizza comes out. She takes a slice. I take a slice. We start eating the pizza. The bottom of the pizza, I'm all right with a little crisp, right?
Burnt.
Yeah, a little char.
It was burnt.
Burn.
It was burnt like clearly they forgot to take it out.
They burned it.
Yeah.
It happens.
So it happens, right? Yeah. So I'm sitting there eating.
And I'm sure it's not like a cheap pizza either, because wood fire usually tends to be a little more expensive in terms of pizza.
They're probably, and this isn't like, a lot of those pizzas are like $17 to $22, something like that. But it's not a big pizza, right?
Yeah.
It's enough for 2, and
sure.
You're not going to walk away with any pizza left. So I'm sitting to myself, I'm like, okay, what do I do here? Okay, it's burnt. So, by the way, we're hungry, and we've been waiting. We went for a good hour and 15-minute walk just to kind of say,
prepare.
All right, let's do that, and then we'll come.
Sure.
So we do all that stuff. So we just start eating. And I know her, she's like, no, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, well, if you're good, then I'm good. But there was like a hesitation with her. She wanted me to say I'm not good and to send it back.
So she wasn't good.
She wasn't.
Just said
she just
she
didn't
was
want
good.
to say it.
I understand.
Okay.
She doesn't want to be the one that creates the potentially awkward moment.
Yes. Okay.
Got it.
So I just end up making the executive decision. I'm just going to eat it then.
Okay.
If you've told me you're okay, I'm okay with it as well. The pizza's amazing. It's burnt. Okay, the bottom is
burned, like as in I'm not enjoying this burned, or burned
as in I'm tasting the burnt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
I'm also tasting other stuff, but
you taste the burned
I'm
bread.
tasting the burnt. So I made the decision that I'm not taking it back, right? I'm not going to tell them to taking it back. So we get to about the final slice of the pizza.
Nice.
No. I'm telling you I'm not good at this, because then you're wasting the food and this and that. So 9 times out of 10, I'm probably just going to eat my food, okay? But I told her, and there's one slide. It's like, this thing's really, really burnt. So I said, hey, heads up. I told the server it came. I said, we love this place. We come all the time. I just want you to know, like, take a look at the bottom. It was really burnt. And she's like, oh, my gosh. Like, she's like, whoa, that's way too burnt. You should have told us. And I'm like, gosh, dang it. I'm already this far deep, whatever. Would you have sent the pizza back?
If it were burned, probably.
Yeah.
If it were burned, put it this, I'm more likely to eat the wrong pizza. Like if I ordered pepperoni pizza and they brought pepperoni and onions,
shrimp pesto.
If they were shrimp pesto, but if they brought something that I'm just going to muss it. Yeah. Burned, because here's the thing: burned is just somebody just forgot. It's not a big deal.
No, 100%.
They'll make you another.
It happens all the time because in restaurants.
It happens all the time. And here's what's funny: is there's like a group of them around the wood fire oven, right? And they were just laughing and having a good time. I'm like, he forgot. Somebody was cracking a joke, and the guy forgot. I didn't take it back. I know deep down she wanted me to have it taken back, and we were talking about it after. I'm like, why didn't you just tell me? She's like, well, I didn't want to say it.
Did the waiter or waitress try to make it right at all? Did they, other than just saying, oh, gosh, I wish you would have said something, did they discount it or anything like that?
She was nice, and then we were nice.
Yeah.
As in,
but you
she
paid full price?
No.
Oh,
she did, and then we tipped off really well.
Perfect. Everybody wins, other than you got a burnt pizza. Other than your pizza was less than perfect.
I don't know what it is. I have a difficult time, like.
I'm with you if it's something,
and I don't want to waste the food.
It's a little wrong. There's that too, but just burned is nobody's fault. It's just somebody left it in the oven 2 minutes too long. It's not a big deal.
Guy was playing Angry Birds.
Exactly. This pizza's burnt. I hate me, but this one, I think you guys might have. Would you mind making me? The answer would always be, yeah, sure, no problem. Let's make a new one. Sorry about that. Be right out. Or
look at our food problems.
Or
Salsa verde and burnt pizza.
It was the bottle's this big. Okay, bottle's this big.
I think I know. Is that Costco?
No, grocery store,
okay.
Albertsons. It's that Erdez green salsa verde.
Dude, you wasted good salsa.
I know,
man.
I know.
Is it the guacamolee one?
No, it's not
cool.
The guacamole one.
One's good too.
That's good too. That one's a little more lime green colored.
Jorge's devastated.
Tomatillo colored, right?
Man,
it wasn't. I want you to picture the biggest soup bowl you can picture, filled to the very top. That's how much was on the wall.
Helmet nacho bowl. Kind of
yes, that much.
Bro, but for the cap to come off like that, one of two things: either you were super aggressive with your shake.
It was both.
And the cap, I mean, you just barely put it on.
It's my fault.
Yeah,
I'm the only one that uses it, and so it.
As far as Susan knows, it's Bobby's fault.
No, that guacamole sauce though. Like if you get
I gotta try that.
Burrito, you gotta
good.
Try it.
Yeah.
Put on your chicken. A little sour cream. Oh man, you put that on anything.
Sold.
You gotta get that guacamole one.
Sold.
Ohtani's looking for a second opinion, and did we appreciate what we saw nearly enough? That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Football's back, and I'm here to remind you that Vivid Seats has your back for all your ticket needs. Not only is Vivid Seats the official ticketing partner of ESPN, they have a 100% buyer guarantee, and they're the only ticket company that rewards you for buying. This football season, catch every pass, every tackle, and every heart-pounding play live and in person. To get great deals on great seats, download their app or visit vividseats.com today. too.
It's Friday and the body knows it.
All right, so Taylor Swift is playing in Mexico City for the next couple days. So she's been selling out an arena there. And we just have a couple of remixes of some of her songs.
I don't hate this.
A little norteño.
Okay.
Yeah. 710 Swift again, guys.
Swift 710.
The Spanish version.
Yeah, and maybe...
I'm stuck on the Herdez guacamole here. I'm literally researching it as we speak.
See, at the biggest bottle you can order, that's the one. I don't dislike this.
I don't either.
And some of the ones that I'm going to play for you throughout the day, they're going to make you like those songs a little better.
Yeah, this one's stuck in my head. I've been
It's not
singing
bad.
this all morning.
It's a combo.
I would not think that a Taylor Swift song with an accordion is something that I would typically be here for, but that's not the worst thing I've ever heard.
Emily sent me a clip this morning, and it's Taylor Swift in Mexico, and she says, "Mi español no es muy bueno."
Like, Taylor Swift said that.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's like,
No,
"My
but
Spanish
probably
is
not like that.
Not like that.
No.
How does she say it, Em? Can you hear? Enlighten me here.
Mi español es no bueno.
Right,
like
exactly.
something like
Like
that.
I would say it.
Yeah, so then I see that.
Emily sounds like she's from Guadalajara.
Exactly. So then I see that, that clip she sent me, and I keep scrolling. And then that song came along, and I'm playing that song on my way here, and then I'm here, and I'm sick. That song's stuck in my head right now. It's an earworm.
I like it. That should be the official song of the Trav and Slee show. Rage Against the Machine and this.
I think people want this more than Rage.
That's tremendous. I like it. Listen to Mason and Ireland all week long for your chance to win tickets to the exclusive Mason and Ireland LAFC pep rally and live broadcast coming up a week. Is it a week from today? It is a week from today. Friday, September 1st from 1 to 4 inside BMO Stadium at the Founders Club. Fans in attendance have a chance to win LAFC versus Miami tickets and autographed merch, plus food and drinks. Listen all week to Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN or enter for your chance to win at ESPNLA.com.
Did you see the video of Greg at Terranea?
No.
Yeah, so he got a nice little suite. He had a little tour on his Instagram. So if you guys follow him at Corporate Greg, you can see him like walking through his suite. Corporate Greg is like Lord Bergman yet again. Yeah.
That's good living right there.
I leave the show. They get all that good stuff.
I know.
Oh man,
They were waiting for you to leave to go to Terranea.
They're using that budget on Terranea. They're like, you know what? We're good now. Got plenty of money
you
now.
want to go to Trav and Slee? Well, watch this.
Yeah, Brian Cohen will be at Terranea.
Brian's going to be in the spa with cucumber slices over his eyes. Just chilling with the hot rocks on his back and the whole
Hey Brian,
thing.
you can go if you can spell Terranea.
Jeez,
Oh,
Jorge.
wow. Kaboom.
Wow, that went ugly fast.
Well, he's
You guys
protecting.
you guys took me there.
Yeah, he's protecting himself. He's upset now.
You a spa guy?
No.
Neither am I.
But you don't like just, sitting in a, cold plunge or a hot pool?
I don't mind like a sauna or a steam room or something like that. That's okay, but the spa where you're getting a massage and all that stuff,
some skincare?
No.
Well, I can tell.
We've all.
What happened this morning?
Kaboom.
Why is everybody being so
Don't
mean?
have to
What did I do
everybody.
to you today?
We're drinking coffee too, Trav. Come on,
Yeah,
we're catching up, man.
Yeah, I've never been.
Yeah, I can tell.
I've never
Jeez.
been spa.
No, I don't. I'm sore after. I thought a massage is supposed to be relaxing and chill. I'm always feel like I got in a fist fight afterwards. My whole body hurts.
All your the muscles and the
Yeah.
tissues. They're just kind of like unknotting
I
it.
want you to beat me
You
up.
ever use? And I already know the answer to this. You don't ever use a roller, right?
Not a. We have a Theragun, one of those.
Okay.
We do
All
have
right.
one of those.
Yeah.
That helps a little bit.
So roller, I never used. And I remember guys at basketball, they would even you just go play pickup. Guys would just be. And a couple times that I tried, or you go to a gym and you put a lot of your weight on your thigh or something like that. I'm like, that might be the most painful thing that I've ever felt. I'm going to go back to just everything being tight. I chose tight over getting the knots out.
I'd rather just hurt myself more.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah, it hurts.
Look, it's a natural human instinct. Avoid pain. Seek pleasure. Avoid pain. That's the human experience, right? That's the whole point.
Big E says, I should have ate 7 of the 8 slices and then asked for a new pizza. Guys, what is this?
I just
What is
noticed that
here?
this is burned. It's really not up to your standard.
Truly unprofessional.
It's like drinking 3/4 your martini and going, this wasn't nearly as dry as I was hoping. I never send drinks back because that's an affront to the bartender, and now they might do something.
Oh, that's fair. No, I see that.
Yeah.
It's not too orange.
Right.
Remember that one? It's not too orange. It's kind of yellow. I'm like, dude, you should have just drank.
Yeah,
you can't say anything.
And I'm like, mine's fine.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm good. You make sure that when you fix it, you only fix his. I don't want to be a part of that. All right, Shohei is going to seek a second opinion, as everybody that gets a bad medical diagnosis probably should.
Yeah.
Right, have somebody else that knows what they're doing take a look and confirm or not the initial diagnosis. So, I think that's obviously very smart and the next step in the process of figuring out where to go from here. He's going to continue to play as the designated hitter pending the second opinion. And we've seen before where he finished a season as a designated hitter without pitching. A UCL tear almost always leads to a Tommy John surgery.
Okay.
It's not quite 1 + 1 = 2. It's 1 + 1 = 1.98. It's just about every time. If he's going to get Tommy John surgery for the second time, what are we waiting for? If that second diagnosis comes back, and maybe this is what he'll decide to do, but if that second diagnosis comes back, why not go get it fixed and start that rehab process? Because whatever team he's on, whether it's the Angels or anybody else, the sooner we can have that bat back in the lineup, the better. You're not going to pitch next season no matter what, so let's get that thing going so you're ready to swing a bat in May instead of June, or you're ready to swing a bat in April instead of May. Like, let's get that process started.
If I'm Shohei Ohtani, the season's done. We all know that. Sure. There's nothing left to play for. This isn't one of those, hey, we're only 2 games back from a wild card spot, and I'm going to see if I could tough this one out, or I'm going to wait as long as possible because there's a lot riding on the line 100%. For this year. They're 10.5 back, Trav. 10.5 back. We were actually even talking about this maybe a week or two ago where we were saying,
shut them down.
Do you even? And we were talking about from Shohei's perspective that Shohei, what's kind of the purpose of saying I'm going to go play? I'm going to start every 5th start and listen. Nobody
take
could
your
predict.
ABs.
No one could predict this. So it's like, even if we sit here and we're saying what we're saying, you can go get injured at any time, and I believe that. But I'm talking about go look at the standings, go look at what's at stake, go look at. He's been the conversation over the last year of what's going to happen after this season. Based on what you just said, I don't care what the Angels are saying. Go get your second opinion. I literally pay no attention to the Angels. What do I got to do for me? Because I've done everything I possibly can for that organization or for that team. I have, and give them credit, they allowed me to be able to do both of the things that I wanted to do. But no one's going to look at Shohei and say, you know what, he just really didn't deliver up to.
No chance. This is for whoever he's going to play for next year. And maybe it is the Angels.
And if
see,
it is,
but
if
that's in the Angels' best interest.
Then Shohei, you just handle what you need to handle. Yeah. And wouldn't you imagine that within the next few days or a week, after he's going to get that second opinion, that he's probably going to go forward with doing the thing that makes most sense?
I can't imagine he wouldn't. He hasn't done anything that leads you to believe he's not a really smart guy. And Doc A says, look, you got a tear in your UCL. It needs to be repaired. If they go to Doc B, and Doc B says, yeah, I concur with the initial diagnosis. I think this needs to be repaired. I'm saying, okay,
what's
cool.
The other option?
Let's schedule surgery.
Yes.
Let's get the clock ticking on my rehab and see what happens next. Because, which leads to the next biggest question, right? Which is, did we just witness the greatest thing we're ever going to see from a baseball player? Is it over? It might be. And as much as it sucks to say it, and I want it to be wrong, I hope that we can fast forward, get a little glimpse into the future of what 2025 and beyond looks like. And Shohei's out there striking out 200 guys again.
Yeah.
He's out there throwing 100 miles an hour again, and it's the full Ohtani. It feels like the other thing is far more likely, which he'll come back and pitch. Guys that come back, double TJ guys, the list of guys that have come back from double TJ.
I know yesterday you teased that.
It's basically 2 guys, and here's who the 2 guys that have had the most success with double TJ. It's Daniel Talion and Nathan Eovaldi. Anybody? Right. So you're saying who? And if you're a baseball person, you know who we're talking about. But this isn't, DeGrom just had a second. Buehler just had a second. May just had a second. Ohtani is likely to have a second. So we're getting more guys that are going through it the second time. But I'm genuinely think there's going to be a time in the not too distant future, a couple of years, 2, 3, 4 years from now, we're saying, I saw Ohtani win. I saw Ohtani when he was not only a 50 home run guy, which he's going to be for quite a while, but he was also a guy that was going to strike out 200 guys a year. I saw that. I saw the 3 years where he was the best pitcher in baseball, the best hitter in baseball, and now this is just a facsimile of that. It's not the original, and the original might be gone forever. It's a terrifying thought.
Well, and listen, if what he's done is never been done before, sustaining what he has already accomplished.
198.
By the way, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You're going to hate that drop because I hate it. I had it.
Is it
for
like
a 3 years?
Any cough or sneeze? Is that what you
cough,
like? Just clearing the throat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Call extension 198.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trick him sometimes. I'm going to turn off the mic. Nothing's going to happen. I'm going to pretend like I did something. Got him.
Oh, and I'm watching, man. I know when you're sneezing.
All right, so I just say this about the Ohtani piece of it of maybe we did just see the greatest that we'll ever see from a player. I think maybe it's very, very easy to be narrow-minded, get caught up in the moment, and just think this is going to happen for 7 or 8 years.
Yes.
If nobody's ever done it, then what you might get from Ohtani down the road,
couldn't agree more.
Trav, what you might get from Ohtani down the road is he might have a night where, and I'm not telling you that he's not going to be anything. I'm just saying that this could be, just based off of what you're saying, the history of guys that have had Tommy John surgery twice, the history of just the game and how it all plays out. We might have a night in 2 years from now, wherever he's playing. Let's pretend it's at Dodger Stadium, where
I don't think
Ohtani
you're gonna have to
has
pretend about that.
where Ohtani has 12 strikeouts in 6 innings, and the crowd is going crazy. And he also earlier in the game had a home run. I think you could still have nights of the special Ohtani.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about this, and I don't know, when guys come off of these types of surgeries, but it is a little narrow-minded on us to think, well, he's done it for 2 years, he's going to do it for 9 years.
That brings me to the thing I want to talk about next, because I know you and I have spent a lot of time talking about Shohei. I would come in here after he would do one of those Shohei things, and I'd be, Al, did you see it? Did you see it? Can you believe it? And even I don't know if I appreciated it to the degree that we should have, for all the reasons that you just said, that it was so weird that every single night should have been Shohei Appreciation Night, because the end is inevitable. And I'm not saying it's the end, but I'm saying that what he's doing has never happened before. Nobody knows the lifespan of it. And now you're at least considering you just said it. The night we just saw him pitch 9 innings in game 1 of a doubleheader, wipe out an entire team, and then a couple hours later hit 2 home runs as the designated hitter. That might not be something we see regularly. That might not be the stand. We just I did it again. Do we appreciate it enough? That's coming up next. It's Trav and Slee, 710 ESPN.
just find every mix. This is cumbia. This is a cumbia version here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Love Story.
Did she play this at SoFi?
Well, she
did not play this version, but she may in Mexico City.
By the way, Jorge, you're right. She should have.
Should have played that SoFi.
Was that her at the beginning of that cut? Was that her
Yes.
saying that? That wasn't as bad as I was anticipating.
I know.
Right?
It wasn't.
I was expecting.
She's also from Guadalajara.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on point.
Yeah.
She's good. I'll tell
White
you what,
people taco night.
See, now that is...
Taylor Swift's talking
Hey,
about.
hey, talk to us about the merchandise you saw on Twitter, Emily.
Yeah, so I've been seeing this a little bit on my TikTok and stuff of the merchandise because their merchandise is like so much better in Mexico, but it's not like Taylor Swift's like company doing it. It's like people selling it on the street, and so 626 Brewhouse tagged us in this, and it's Taylor, but all in like the Mexico's flag colors, and then it says Taylor Suave instead of Taylor Swift,
That's
and it
awesome.
has her with like a bottle of a Mexican beer. It has her with like a bottle of hot sauce. It's her dancing with Bad Bunny. It's very cute.
How many did you order, Jorge?
Hey, who wants to
Taylor
buy one?
Suave.
Hit me up on Twitter. Taking orders right now.
Yeah, you've got a cut coming from.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Emily, I'm surprised. Like, look, this is the next evolution of your fandom. That you've been a fan for a long time. You've now seen her domestically. Now you need to see her internationally.
Yeah, someone pay me to go do that because then I will do that at any point in time. But
She's in Mexico City?
Yes.
What's that? By air, 3
3.5
hours?
hour flight.
Yeah, it's not far.
That's
Yeah,
not
it's not
too
far.
bad.
It's definitely already sold out though. So
Well, I'm not saying tonight. I'm not
Put out your
saying-
Venmo.
But I'm just saying.
Put out your Venmo.
No.
We'll get you there.
Yeah. Go to Mexico. You go to Canada. You want to get, take a big
go
trip.
to Europe.
Go to Europe. Japan. I'm assuming she'll go to Japan at some
I
point.
don't know if she's doing Asia. Actually, no, she is. But yeah.
Seoul.
Yeah,
Like,
would be great.
Go big. Go.
Well, thank you. I
I'll
will
chip in
save
20
my
bucks.
pretty pennies.
Al
I'm
says
in for
he'll-
20.
He'll
I'm in
finance
for
the
20.
rest. All right, I got the first 20. I got your drinks on the flight. Al's got the rest of it.
Take
along
care of
the way.
everything else.
The Travis Lee Show has teamed up with Waba Grill to give away lunch for your office. How about that? Listen today during the Waba Grill lunch hour on 710 for the cue to call, and you could be the Waba Grill Workplace of the Week. That's today on 710 ESPN. Thanks to Waba Grill. Waba Grill, eat smart, be healthy. Oh, I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Ask Slee. 10
That's right.
minutes from
That's
now.
right.
Ask Slee.
How
coming
we
up
doing
in
on
10
there?
You want my honest answer?
Yeah.
Haven't looked yet.
Okay.
So
All right.
we'll
find out.
We'll see.
We'll find out.
I haven't looked at. I'm sure they're killing it, and if they're not, I need them to step it up.
All right, hit us up on Twitter.
877-710-ESPN if you want to do it on the phone. Do you think we appreciated what we saw enough? And look, I'm hoping that by the first pitch of 2025, here's my dream scenario. Al.
Yep.
Shohei Ohtani's in Dodger blue. He's got the ball in his hand, opening day 2025, and he goes out there and he pitches 7 innings and looks brilliant, strikes out 10 guys, hits a home run. It's like, here we go all over again. Shohei 2.0,
Yeah.
On a winning team in the postseason, and he's the best version of himself. But Double TJ is the great unknown, right? There just haven't been a lot of guys that have had it, and of the guys that have, the success rate is not great. It's just not. And hopefully Buehler comes back, and May comes back, and DeGrom comes back, and
Sure.
Ohtani, that all the best pitchers come back and look
Some
great.
big names right there.
Huge
that have
names.
their second Tommy John surgery.
Huge names.
Yeah. Well, Ohtani not official yet.
Right.
I think, yeah.
Very, very likely. Did we appreciate what we saw enough? Do we ever appreciate when you're looking at that great thing and you think, oh, we'll just get to watch this forever. We're going to be able to watch the best version of this person forever, that you don't have that perspective of, this is going to come to an end, and especially when somebody's doing something that's never been done before.
Here's why it's impossible to try to appreciate what Shohei has done. It's impossible for a couple reasons. Listen, I've tried in my own, I think I had told you, there was and they actually moved his start, but do you remember I was lined up to go to a Padres-Angels game down in San Diego.
And
he was supposed to start. He ends up going the next day. And, okay, so I basically get to see Shohei bat 4 times. Yeah, that works as well, right? I didn't get to see him pitch, but I get to see him bat. And the buzz around, I think anytime you go to a live sporting event, there is this buzz that you can't, whatever it is on TV, you try your best to say, oh my gosh.
It's not the same.
This SEC football game is amazing. Well, imagine if you were there, right? There's only so much you can do. But I think get a chance to see him in person, you have a different appreciation. And I'm not even talking about him. I'm talking about everybody else. You're just looking at how excited everybody else. Hey,
Remember
sit
that
down.
picture
Hey, this.
of Giolito when he first came over to the Angels, and I think Ohtani hit a home run. He came in, and Giolito looked like you and me. Like, I can't believe that I'm seeing this stuff, and he's an actual major league player.
Here's why I think it can't be appreciated, or why it's so difficult to appreciate it. Trav, every time we got to mid-August, it was done. That every time, I think what makes, and I know you might have a different definition on this. You say Mike Trout's the greatest player that you've ever seen.
Until this dude.
And then I've always been more of, well, no, I think because those performances weren't at the highest level, highest leverage, you're in the postseason, a chance to go to the World Series. I hesitate in saying that. It doesn't mean that the player is not unbelievable.
I get you.
But we watched Shohei in the WBC, and why were we all so glued, and why was it so incredibly, incredibly fun? Probably the best moment we've ever seen Shohei in. It's because it was high leverage. So I think what aside from when somebody does something so great all the time, it's just naturally you underappreciate because it becomes normal. He made it normal.
He normalized it. Yeah, exactly right.
But on top of that, it also didn't happen in a September run and that's the most unfortunate to me is because we want to see him do it in the postseason.
I'm still optimistic that we can get back there, and maybe it's because I still believe that he's going to be on the Dodgers in 6 months from now. I think that will be true. I think that he will recover from it because we know he'll do the work. We know that he's just different, right? I know that's kind of a cliche. Oh, just built different. This dude actually is.
It's literally the definition of
right. He's that guy. But I think the thing where we drop the ball, not you and me, but just baseball fans, sports fans, this was inevitable. That you can't. There's a reason these are separate jobs. There's a reason that this has never happened before because you can't ask the body to do this. It's just it's going to break down. That when you and it's not look. It'd be one thing if I mentioned this to you a month or two ago. It'd be one thing if you were a guy that could come in and pitch occasionally when you needed it. Hey, we need to get out of the fifth inning, and you can throw 25 pitches, and okay, cool, and it's major league caliber, but you're not asking him to be the ace every fifth day. You're not asking him to bat second and hit 50 home runs every single day. The end of that was inevitable, wasn't it?
Well, Travis, let's not bury him yet. You know, there is still an opportunity that he could come back from double Tommy John and be a great pitcher. Like, there's still an opportunity because we haven't seen it yet. Our medicine's getting better. Our training's getting better. Ohtani is a freak of nature in terms of his body already. True. So who knows what could happen? We also doubted him the past 3 years that he would repeat that too.
But I think the point is that it could be the best. We could have potentially seen the absolute best.
But it feels like we're having a funeral for someone who's
not
dead.
Not. No, we're not. It's just it's so different what he's accomplished from everybody else that if he ends up with Tommy John and he's out for a
full year,
whatever the case is, that
and then by
it's
the way,
also
that
not out of the ordinary to think that something that we've never seen. I mean, the 9 innings. You pitch a full game, and in the doubleheader, you hit 2 home runs. Where are the other examples?
There aren't any. There aren't any. And it's not just he had a day. There's a random fact that I remember, and this might be slightly wrong, but it's mostly right. Rick Wise was a pitcher for the Cardinals. Okay, a pitcher, not a two-way guy, a pitcher. He threw a complete game and hit 2 grand slams in a game. Just the fluke of nature, right? It's just one of those weird things that happened, and but he did it once, and it happened 70 years ago or 50 years ago, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And here you are. This guy just normalized it every single night. And you're right, Emily, and keep telling me that.
He could go to the LeBron of elbows for all we know.
Yeah, he could. He could also be like every other guy that's had double TJ and be back, but be different. And be a guy that is capable but not special. That's the difference, right?
Has special moments.
Yeah.
Right?
But they're big leaguers. All of them can have a special moment. But what he was doing, this felt, even at the time, it's like, hey, man, I don't know. Do it as long as you can, and then we'll fix it when something happens. Well, something just happened.
Yeah.
And the thing that we kind of lost track of finally happened. I hope he comes back better than ever. I hope they put a friggin' bionic elbow in, and he comes back throwing 200 miles an hour.
This is one of the reasons Brenda, I follow sports. Like I'm not a particular Angels fan and whatnot, but I live so close to the stadium. that one time I was like, you know what? I gotta go. You gotta go watch Trout and Ohtani. These two guys are doing things that we haven't seen in years. So we go, and to this day, she just told me yesterday, like, oh, Ohtani got hurt. I'm like, yeah, like she remembers because she got to see him play, and it's one of those things like when we get the opportunity to watch these guys do their thing, it's cool, and you appreciate it at the time. But now, in times like this where they get hurt, like, okay, now what? Like, how do you bounce back from it? That's
there's only a few of these in the world.
Yeah,
there's only one Messi.
Right.
There's only one LeBron.
But then to Emily's point, they're pushing the bar. Like that guy's 36 years old and he's still playing at a high level.
Yeah.
You know, he's
right. It's different.
Yeah,
it's different than what he used to be. Bron's going into his 21st season. He played all 48 minutes of the last game against Denver.
Fingers crossed. Optimism, prayers, all of those things, and then the reality of what we're looking at is on the other side of the coin. I don't know. I just know
or
that
his role could change, and it could be still a valuable pitching role.
That's an interesting question.
But it's not a starter.
Be a reliever.
That's a really interesting question that I want to talk about in just a little bit. But ask Slee. I'm going to look, Slee. Ask Slee coming up next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN. In an accident, call Sweet James, 1-800-9-MILLION. 1-800-900-0000. Not all personal injury attorneys are the same. Sweet James, they've been awarded best attorneys in America. How about that? Personal injury is all that they do. Sweet James is the firm that I called after my own family has been involved in accidents, after I've been involved in accidents. It's the firm that I've recommended to my friends and said, hey, listen, I know you had an accident. You need to get in touch with Sweet James, 1-800-9-MILLION. And here's why. You want a firm like Sweet James that has experience. Sweet James has 20 years of experience representing you. Before that, he used to work for the insurance company, so he knows what they're up to. You want somebody with a winning record. He's collected over $1 billion in settlements in that nearly 20-year career. He's collected more in a year than most firms do in their entire lifetime. So if you are in an accident and you're hurt, call Sweet James. Truck, car, motorcycle, dog bite, doesn't matter. Call Sweet James. 1-800-9-MILLION. That's 1-800-9-MILLION and sweetjames.com. All right, Al, here we go. 877-710-ESPN. If you want to get in on the phone, you know how to do it. Otherwise, send them to me on Twitter. You can send them to M. You can send them to Al, to Jorge, wherever you want to do that. Would you rather? This is from Chrissy, who, by the way, Chrissy has become a very regular contributor.
Very active.
Very active and a very good Ask
appreciate
Slee participant. That. She tweets this in the Trav and Slee community. Would you rather stay in a house where you can't turn off the fire alarm for a whole day or go out to breakfast, lunch, and dinner with a guy who always sends his food back and has to talk to the chef?
God, that guy's annoying. I think that's what I was afraid of yesterday.
Do it 3 times, too. Or you have a constant chirping in your house.
You want to speak to the chef, this, that. Does the smoke alarm going off at night too, or just the day? Can I get it?
I'm assuming it's a 24-hour period, and you're in the. Man. That's a day, right? 24 hours, and
I gotta go to the restaurants with the annoying guy.
1,000 out of 1,000.
If she said it was like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., then I'll just be out for most of the day, and I'll come back when it turns off. But if that thing is going 24 hours, I'll hallucinate. What's the Chinese torture? The what is
water
it?
dripping on your head,
one drip,
nonstop.
one drop.
Yeah.
Isn't that what the smoke alarm is? It's like
Mason had to deal with it. He said 2 months or
2
2
months.
weeks.
No, he said 2 months.
Yeah, he did say 2 months. I would have broke into the other home.
Because it's rich people go to Europe.
We tried.
100%.
We talked about that. Like, hey, we should just break in.
I think that's what Emily just said is the thing we didn't even pay attention to.
I didn't hear
most.
what you said. What did you say, Em?
Because it's 2 months because it's rich people going to Europe in the summer.
Somebody left for 2 months to Europe. That's a pretty good life.
Is that not like a beacon for burglars? that thing just keeps going on. Like, clearly there's nobody in that house.
That's right.
I'm going through the window. I'm taking whatever
Might
they
as well
got.
put a sign. We're gone till September.
See you on September 30th, 2009.
Yeah, all the Amazon packages just at the front door.
Oh, my gosh. Em, what do you got?
All right, so I got one from John in Huntington Beach of Fullerton. He says, why doesn't Wendy's use square buns for their square hamburger patties? Hashtag Ask Slee.
I think they want the patties to stand out a little bit. I think they want the 4 corners of the patties to make it different than all the other burgers out there.
Wouldn't it still be different if the whole thing were square?
It would be, but imagine your first bite. Do you need more bread? I don't need more bread. I want to get, it's almost like.
What if you offset it? Like, because now you have like 8 corners. If you had a square bun with a square patty and you did a quarter turn, you have 8 corners.
Let me ask you this question. Let me use this as an example. Are you a fan of when you're having a hot dog, when the actual hot dog it
Shorter
leaks
than the
out
bun?
a little bit on
you mean
one
like the
side.
original Dodger dog that when they knew what they were doing? That one?
Always goes back to the Dodger dog. Always,
that's your fault, by the way.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? So it's obviously the dog is bigger than the bun.
Yeah, that's
I'd
great.
rather have that. That's my best definition of allowing the Wendy's burger to be that way.
Do you know why they have square burgers? And this is the actual answer to the question.
What is it?
Because they didn't want to cut any corners. We don't cut corners.
Who cares? So corny.
That they don't cut corners at
You know
Wendy's.
what? I look at Wendy's differently now. That is a
I didn't. It's not my joke. It's the Wendy's
I might as well
thing.
be.
that is a symbolic.
We don't
Every
cut any
time I
corners.
eat a burger,
Got square
I know
burgers.
that Wendy's ain't screwing around.
You're going to start making them square at home.
There you go.
Just have every corner there.
I didn't know that would have that type of reaction.
Like
People
I
throwing
did.
peanuts at you.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Get
Tomatoes,
outta
tomatoes,
here.
tomatoes.
Jason Levine, dear outdoorsman Slee, I just spent several $100s on a new sleep system for camping. At what point does spending on camping gear become too much and I should just sleep in a hotel?
I think if you are trying to if you think you're going to go camping and you're going to try to make it super, super comfortable, like if you're like, oh, I'm going to get all the best
Glamping,
stuff.
yeah.
I'm like, well, then just go to a hotel. So if you start spending all this money,
Then you own it and you don't have to buy it again.
well,
You got
no,
satin sheets.
that
You
part's
sit there.
fine, but you also just have to accept that that's part of camping. Like it's not going to be
Being
the
a little
most
uncomfortable,
Yeah, it's
little
not going
rustic.
to. It's not going to be It's not going to be the greatest experience. If you're looking for the Ritz, go to the Ritz.
Okay.
My back hurts. Why? There was a rock under my sleep.
But if the
A mat, you got to have. You got to have
you
a mat.
just described, and I know you like it, and I'm not, but you just described why I don't want to go.
Which is fair.
Which is the whole, well, it's not going to be great. Like, if that's the jump off point, you're going to be a little uncomfortable when you sleep. This is my vacation. Why do I want to go
But
to
what
that?
if I also told you? What if I also told you, You're grilling outside.
Okay.
You're cracking open a beer.
Okay.
You got your chairs out. There's a little fire going on. You're looking up at the stars. Like, it's also different than what you do 363 days out of the year.
You're not wrong, but everything you just described I can do in my backyard, except for the fire, right? Because I don't want to. But then I get to go to bed, and it's nice. I like my bed.
It's
got
not for
a little,
everybody.
What if I told
That's
you?
It's
okay.
got a little dent that's the perfect size of my body.
There's times where I'm sleeping like this. I'm like, yeah, we don't. It's not straight. It's not
and
straight.
Your feet have to be on the low side.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
My
because then you're just like.
When we go to visit my folks, they have a bedroom that Susan and I use when we go to visit. And the bed, and I swear it can't be more than a millimeter or two, your feet are slightly higher than your head. And I feel like I'm in like a space capsule. I'm just so disoriented by the whole thing. I try to get a bunch of pillows to even it out. It never works. It's almost indistinguishable when you look at it, but it's very, very strange.
That's pretty funny.
Very strange.
All right,
What do you got?
This one's from Darren Pollock. He says, I was taught by Back to the Future that you don't need a credit card to ride the power. What's a movie from your childhood that lied to you? Hashtag Ask Slee.
That lied to me. I think they all lied.
I think that's right.
Literally all of them.
Like Mike, where your shoes can make you like Michael Jordan if Michael Jordan wore them.
Is that Bow Wow?
Yeah, it's a little Bow Wow.
Bow Wow's in
I'm
that one.
trying to think. One movie I always just it's so random that I remember as a kid. I don't know if it lied to me. Remember Over the Top?
The arm wrestling movie?
Yep,
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone.
Sure.
I don't know what it was about that movie. I just thought it was like the best movie.
It's okay.
It's
Yeah.
at best okay.
It's fine. It's a Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling movie.
As a kid, I'm
what did you expect?
I don't know. But as a kid, I'm like, no, this is how life is. These guys are going out. They're just truckers. They're doing. A few years go by. I watch the movie again. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
So the thing that jumped to mind hearing that question was, what movie lied to you? Like every 80s movie had a bully, and there was always a comeuppance moment for a bully. That never happens.
Yeah, bullies succeed.
Bullies win. Bullying is actually a fairly effective way to get what you want most of the time. I'm not suggesting it's a good thing, but that idea that, he'll get what's coming his way. Nah, not really. The mean girl, right? That Regina George does not always get her comeuppance. Oftentimes she wins.
I believed
also,
you.
sometimes bullying works.
Right.
I believed you until Zach Randolph. I told you this story before. DeMarcus Cousins was trying to push around Zach Randolph, and there's a great clip of Zach Randolph looking at DeMarcus Cousins in the face. DeMarcus back in the Sacramento Kings days, and he goes, where I'm from, bullies get bullied, and DeMarcus just puts his head down. I'm like, okay. Nobody messed with Zach Randolph.
Zach Randolph wasn't getting put. Zach Randolph was not on the receiving end of bullying either. One more here. Optimus Prime Rib. I love that name.
That's good.
That's great. Really good. With what is Alan's course of action when he's out and about with Lady Slee and he knows she is clearly wrong about something? Does he seethe in silence? Does he speak up and feel the wrath of prioritize being correct and affecting the rest of the day? So factually,
she's wrong.
She's wrong. Mm-hmm. I know the right answer. What's your move?
There's been a lot of trial and error on this.
For all of us.
We've done it. We've all kind of, we have our research that we've done. Anytime somebody's wrong and you're trying to tell them they're wrong in the moment, you're going to run around in circles. It's not. She's going to defend. She's going to play defense, whatever it is. You wait like 24 hours and you go back to it, then she'll admit, yeah, you're right. I was wrong in that situation. I find waiting is the best way to get the honest answer out of them. I'm the same way, too. I might be in the moment defensive. You tell me the next day, I'm like, yeah, I was wrong on that.
Jorge, how do you do it?
Tell her straight up, hey, you're wrong. And then if we get an argument, I'm like, you know what? Let's just save this for a little later. Enjoy your dinner. It's cool. We'll talk about it in the car. And then in the car on the way home, boom. This is why you're wrong. Why Z.
Let me tell you what your problem is.
Yeah, but how is she taking that? Is she admitting she's wrong?
It's back and forth, because you're processing it, right? Like as you're having dinner. So then you don't have to wait 24 hours to tell her like what's up.
It's just you want to get the emotions out.
Right.
Once the emotions are gone, then it's easier to have that conversation.
What about you, Em?
So the question is, how do you deal with being told
when you know
wrong?
you're right and the other person's wrong? Do you just let it rip, or do you just kind of sit there and go, "I'll let that person be wrong"?
I tend to be a, you know what, fun fact. Actually, yeah, I'm that kind of person, and it does not go well for me.
It never does. Yeah, that's one of those. It depends on who it is. With Susan, that's not right. Like, you can go, that's not right. And here's why. If you're at a party
trust.
and somebody goes, when Ohtani was on the Tigers, he was awesome. It's like, I'm just going to let that guy think Ohtani was on the Tigers.
The guy you sat next to at that Dodger game
Yes.
that came and sat right next to you, that was not a part of your
That was the tipping
group.
point. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore because now I'm the guy that's the baseball reference sitting next to him, and I don't want to do that. USC starts their season tomorrow. That's actually true. Caleb Williams going for his second consecutive Heisman Trophy at SC. Greatest SC quarterback ever. That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Pasadena, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A Good Karma Brands radio station.
This is the Mid-Morning Spectacular live from LA Live. Travis and Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
Draw the cat eyes sharp enough to kill a man.
Loneless.
A little sabor on this Friday morning.
Some bad things, but I'm the worst.
A little merengue here with Taylor Swift.
Wait for the beat to drop.
Sometimes I wonder which one will be your last
I'm okay with this one.
Yeah, it's this is Vigilante-esque, but the remix version of it.
As the Swiftie in the group, do you like this, or is this blasphemous?
Amazing. I love it. I love the remixes.
Slee, did you already download it on your phone?
Yeah, I was on Napster. Was LimeWire the other one?
Yeah, it was. Well, it depends on what you were looking for. There was another one that had stuff that was neither of those.
I downloaded everything.
Yeah.
It sounds really good, actually.
It does.
Yeah. All right, sorry. This song is called Vigilante-ish, so yeah, we gotta watch the levels a little bit. But we have an extra Astley, a bonus Astley.
What do you got?
All right, so this is from Francis in Glendale. He says, does Travis's license plate say he's 6'3", 215?
You want to guess what it says? And I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
It's mostly accurate. It's a little off, but not by a ton.
I mean, you've said your weight.
I have. But this license is 2 or 3 years old.
All right, I'll go 6. You 6'3" or 6'4"?
I'm 6'3". According to my license, I'm 6'3".
I'll go 6'3",
Yep.
and it says 255.
Take a look.
6'3", 260. No, 250.
No, 250.
Okay.
250. I'm not, but I'm 250 something, which is closer than 215. Let's just put it that way. I haven't been 215
Did you purposely kind of like this?
Well, this was before I had a beard on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So this was just me being lazy when I went in there. And yeah, of course I'm look. When I ever see somebody take a picture of me, my chin's going up. Otherwise, it looks like I'm Jabba the Hutt. If I got my chin down, it's like now all of a sudden we have a multiple chin situation.
You're doing a passport photo. You're like this. Like, what are you doing? Put your arms down.
Michael got his passport the other day, and it looks like he'd just gotten arrested. It's not a good look. The Travis Slee Show has teamed up with Waba Grill. He got you again, Slee. Has teamed up with Waba Grill to give away lunch for your office. Listen today during the Waba Grill lunch hour on 710 for the cue to call, and you could be the Waba Grill Workplace of the Week. That's today on 710 ESPN. Thanks to Waba Grill. Waba Grill. Eat smart. Be healthy. I want to pull something up real quick because since none of you guys are giving me credit for being right, I'm forced to do it myself all over again. And this was from Bill Shaken's piece in the LA Times this morning, talking about the Angels and how they need to kind of recalibrate their entire operation. That now that this thing has crashed and burned the way that it has, and Ohtani's likely to leave, start over. And he just kind of lifts the laundry list of all the things that have gone wrong this year and some other years as well. This is lifted from his piece. Pitcher Tyler Anderson was awarded a $39 million contract after posting a .257 earned run average for the Dodgers last season, has a .535 ERA this season, and a .431 ERA for his career. How many points do I get for being right about that?
Can we give you that one, and then we subtract a point for Syndergaard?
Well, yes, that's fine. But me being right should be worth more than the deduction.
It's worth a point and a half.
Yeah, fine. So I'm plus 0.5. Right?
Now, Tyler Anderson was a name you mentioned a lot, and you gave examples of there's a lot of and you tell me if I'm right or wrong on this. There's a combination of two. One, you have arguably the best franchise in baseball that can take something that is not working in a lot of different places and finds a way. Lance Lynn might be the latest of an example. Kike is another example. J.D. Martinez even doing what he's doing this year. But they can take something that's not working somewhere else and get the most out of it. The opposite of that, is it fair to say the Angels can get the least out of somebody, that it's just two extremes that are 45 minutes apart?
And that's exactly what happened, because his .431 ERA is far more indicative of what they were going to get than the .257 that he posted for the Dodgers, and he posted a .535 for the Angels. So it's above his career high, and the Dodgers were below his career average, and the Dodgers are way below that number. I just feel like I deserve points for that, Emily. Keep track of my points, please.
Okay, cool. Well, we're going to start the points now because we can't retroactively do the points,
we'll
okay,
just start with
Travis?
That one.
We should do a soccer style. 3 points when you're right, 1 point when you're kind of in the middle, zero.
When
when you score wrong.
Good.
Yeah,
but
tie is a
deductions if you're wrong.
Tie is a 1.
There has to be
Yeah.
Huh?
There you go, deductions, yeah.
Okay, sure.
There has to be a deduction when you're right.
You know how, and I know this wasn't where you were going to, but I'm curious your point on this. The Dodgers offered Tyler Anderson a deal.
Uh-huh.
It was a 1-year deal.
Exactly.
He stays with the Dodgers. Is he like last year?
Probably not. I think last year was probably his career best, but he doesn't have an ERA of 5.5. I can tell you that. He doesn't have a 2.5 like he did last year, but it's not 5.5. It's probably somewhere in between his career and what he was for the Dodgers last year. But it's a heck of a lot better than 5.5.
Doesn't it just say for any company, any corporation, any this, man, how critical is all that? Where are you? What company are you working for?
100%.
Well, are they training you before they send you out there? Are they?
100%.
I mean, it's just, I can't think of another better example than those two franchises.
And I just want to be that Tyler Anderson did the right thing. He got 3 years worth of money. The 3 years worth of money is what and I would have done the exact same thing. It's the right decision for him, but it's a bad baseball decision for the Angels.
All right, so here's a question that we can do.
Go to the Angels to lose and get paid.
Hey, if I'm in Tyler Anderson's not a kid.
I know.
He's been around a minute.
And this might be especially coming off the year with the Dodgers.
Go get the bag.
Go get
Pujols
paid.
Did? Remember how many years did Pujols sign for $250?
Yeah.
He got paid.
Go get the bag. It's fine.
So speaking of this, do we think that Mike Trout will finish out his deal with the Angels, that he will finish off this deal, have the rest of the 7 years with the Angels?
He's got 7 years left.
I don't think he does.
Okay.
I don't think he does.
Okay.
I don't think he does. And I have a feeling it's going to be a mutual type of thing.
How long has he been there?
10 years.
Another 7? Yeah, he'll stick around.
I mean, actually, I think it's 11 if we count that first piece of a year. He's been there a long time.
Yeah.
Here's the rub. If Emily, ask me the question again. Does he finish out his career?
Will Mike Trout finish out his career on the Angels?
I'm going to say no, too. But here's where it gets a little tricky. Mm-hmm. What's he worth right now? He is worth so much less than he was worth even a year ago. He's having his career worst year statistically, arguably. Yeah. He's just had another season where he's missed a huge chunk of time because he hasn't played more than 150 games since 2016. He hasn't played more than 120 games since 2019.
His lowest OPS this year since he entered the league in 2011.
So this idea, well, you could jumpstart your farm system, trade Mike Trout. I don't know if that's true anymore. You could, don't get me wrong, you could get something. You could get some decent things. But this, hey, take whatever you want, give me Mike Trout. He's on the wrong side of 30. He's already 10 years in. The decline is very noticeable and obvious. He gets hurt a lot. And what am I buying exactly?
Can I
and
tell
he's
you,
wildly expensive for a long time.
I tell you why I think he does leave, and I think there is a mutual. First off, I think there's always a team that would say, we'll take our chances with Mike Trout. I think there's always a team that will.
Probably.
Listen, maybe not in the next 2 years. I don't know, but I think there will always be a team that says, we'll take our chance with Mike Trout. And for all we know, it could be a team that is a well-run organization that feels like if we put him with us, then maybe some of that stuff will change. I think the other part of it as well, the way Shohei just completely took over baseball for the last few years, and the way he was box office, where if you're going to a game, you're going because of Shohei, you're not going because of Mike Trout. And I know that sounds kind of maybe odd or mean to say, but what's the box office attraction for Mike Trout with the Angels when he's already been there now in his 11th season and Ohtani ends up leaving? Are you going to Angels games and buying tickets to go see Mike Trout?
Probably not anymore. Or certainly not at the rate that it used to be.
Sure.
I'm going to throw this out there. Go back to 2019. Okay, this is he played 134 games in 2019. For those of you that are not familiar with Baseball Reference, I want to explain something. For those of you that are, you're going to know what I'm talking about. When you lead the league in something on Baseball Reference, it's in bold. Okay, it just pops out. From 2012, which was his rookie season, through 2019, it's almost all bold. He leads the league in virtually every offensive category. He's an amazing player. Not one single bolded number since. Not one.
Since what year?
Since 2019.
2019.
Yes, 2019. So 2020, 21, 22, 23. For the last 4 years, he's just been a different guy. And maybe you have to do a deal that, look, we'll eat half the money. But this idea where, well, just go get, we can fix everything. The Phillies would love, well, yeah, but the butt is a decent-sized butt now. Whereas before, Shohei Ohtani, you're instantly stocked. Juan Soto, you're instantly stocked. With Mike Trout, you're not instantly stocked anymore. He's on the wrong side of the age. And
Wait, how is that butt again?
Down. It's getting pretty good size. What did I say?
The butt is a pretty nice butt.
It's a pretty good sized butt, I think is what I said. It is. B-U-T.
What were you talking about in the middle of the Trout thing where you said it's a pretty good sized butt?
It is. It's getting bigger every day, too.
35 a year till 2030.
Yeah, for a long time. A long time.
Do you agree
with
that
diminishing production?
If he went to the market, if the Angels and Mike Trout kind of internally, very, very quietly say, let's try to figure out if we can we need to move on. Angels, Trout's, I pray that he's saying, I need to move on too. There's some teams, just kind of think about it. He needs a new place to be at as well. I think all of that can come into play.
What I thought you were going to say, Alan, it's fascinating, is if he just became a free agent today, what's his market right now? It's not Aaron Judge. It's not Shohei Ohtani. It's not that. He's not an old player. He's 32. He's 32. He's 32.
Okay.
He just turned 32 18 days ago. Okay? So he's not old, but the numbers, that graph is going the wrong way.
Hey, would it be like a Scherzer? Would it be like, some of them Twitter guys? Scherzer's a lot older than Trout.
He is, but Scherzer was still performing at Scherzer levels.
Well,
Mike Trout is not performing at Mike Trout levels.
Do you know the comp, the best comp that I can give? Freddie Freeman, age-wise. Age-wise, right? The 31, 32, somewhere around there. But Freddie's still
doing Freddie stuff. Now, part of the problem is that Trout was so high up there. He was so amazing. To expect that is a different thing, but it's not just to juice the franchise.
And Freddie is 27 a year.
Yeah.
And it's only to 2027.
Dodgers?
Yeah.
Angels. Mm-hmm. It's not super complicated. All right. Get that SC fight song ready because we're doing Caleb Williams. And by the way, his odds to win a Heisman Trophy are pretty darn low. It's getting complicated. It's coming up next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN. Free services you need to help you get back on the road, like their free AutoZone Fix Finder service. The AutoZone Fix Finder service not only identifies the check engine light code, but it also helps identify the most likely cause of the check engine light being on. The information provided by the free AutoZone Fix Finder service is verified by data from over 5.5 million ASE certified technicians, and with over 5,600 locations nationwide, AutoZone is here to help you save time and money with their free services. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
So, Travis, I have a situation for you that might require your services at a wedding. Okay, so
at a wedding. Okay.
Yes. So my friend Christine and her fiance Ethan are in Greece right now for a wedding. So they have been there all week, and she just texted me. Yeah. So that one of their friends is marrying someone from Greece, and therefore they're having their wedding in Greece.
Sure.
And so she just texted me, all the lights went out at this wedding. All the music, all the lights. They cannot do anything. No electricity at this wedding right now. I can't remember what time it is right now in Athens. So we'll see how it plays out. But she texted me. She's trying to start everyone to start singing "Cruel Summer" by Taylor Swift, and I was like, I don't know if that's really going to go over with the Greeks, but
9:18 p.m. in Greece right now in Athens.
And then I asked her, hey, well, I was like, you should take me out to the ball game. Everyone's going to know that. And she was like, I don't know if that's going to go over well with the Greeks.
Are most of the wedding attendees Greek?
It's about half and half.
Okay. Well, the non-Greeks is the other half Americans?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't care who you are, what you are, if you are in this country for a day or two, you're going to know. Take me out to the ball game. It's
they should do the Pledge of Allegiance.
You should. Yeah, they should do it.
So what would you do in this situation? Would you take me at the ball? Hey, it's not that late.
Is this the ceremony or
this is the reception of the ceremony?
Yeah. Is the bar open?
Yes, bar's open.
Good.
She's like, bring me more vino.
Yeah. What's the ouzo? Is that the Greek liquor? Is that the one that I'm thinking of?
I would start drinking I would start singing Juvenile's Back That Thing Up.
Ayo.
A lot of people know that one. A lot of people know that one.
If the bar's open, and they'll have a good time. Just, dance floor. It'll be like a club.
To the window, to the wall.
To the wall.
Plenty of songs if you could do that.
Happy birthday.
A lot of
sing
songs.
that one.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody knows that one. Right, I'm trying to think whatever. What else does everybody know? Those are the two that I feel confident about.
What's the one they sing in Boston?
Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline.
There's no good one.
Yep. Exactly. But you only know the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's all you need.
I guess.
Do it again.
Just sing the chorus over and over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, why not? Caleb Williams is roughly 3-1 odds to win the Heisman Trophy again.
Yeah.
Next closest is 12-1. Okay, so he is a heavy favorite to begin the season.
Is that LSU's quarterback?
It is.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
I don't want to call him Jalen. Jaden Daniels is number 2. Marvin Harrison Jr. at Ohio State is on the list. There's a handful of guys.
Yep.
In the beginning is not always like the end, but it's a pretty comfortable lead for a guy that's already got one, right?
Sure.
Say he racks another one. Wins another Heisman Trophy. But USC has the exact same season that they had last year. They're good, but not great. Lose a couple of games, regardless of whether it's the defense or not. Is Caleb Williams the greatest quarterback in the history of USC because he's got a couple of Heismans? Or do you got to punch the ticket? Because Matt Leinart has a national championship, right?
Carson Palmer,
but didn't win a national championship, but was the first pick in the draft. Caleb Williams is going to be the first pick in the draft. Pat Hayden wins a national championship. We've seen some other guys go through there and win championships. Do you have to win to be the greatest blank in SC history? Because they win. They're about winning.
So, I mean, listen, this is just my own personal opinion, and maybe this falls a little bit to when you say the greatest baseball player I've ever seen, it's Mike Trout. Instantly, for me, I think in this instance, how can I call him? It's not what he accomplishes individually is not great. He's so unique. To win 2 Heisman trophies, I mean, come on. That's such an amazing feat. But if you don't win it all, I know what SC fans will say when it comes to, and he had some really good quote. He had an article in the LA Times as well where it's really all about immortality comes from championships, and he talked a lot about how that's kind of the only thing that matters. But what you're pointing out there, I would just always remember that, but he didn't win it. Not that he wasn't unbelievable, but if you got somebody that's winning 2 Heisman trophies in a row, you're at least thinking, like you can make an argument, you could say, okay, well, they got to the Final Four. Well, he can't go out there and play defense. He's not a linebacker. He ain't a DB. He's not a safety. He's not the defensive coordinator. Or they got to the finals. They got to the championship game. They lost to Georgia or Alabama or one of those SEC schools. That is a stronger case of saying okay, he can't do everything, but he did everything he can to get them that far. If they have the same exact year as last season, isn't that tougher to make that argument?
We remember winning, right? You remember winning, like the individual performances. We have a vague, right? Like, yeah, and we all remember that this player or that player was a good player. But Calvin Johnson was a great player for the Detroit Lions. We know he set records in, touchdown and all these things. But when we're talking about the greatest wide receiver ever, we're really not talking. You're talking about Jerry Rice, not just because of the numbers, but the winning. You're talking about, does
Michael
anybody
Irving,
know any of Tom Brady's numbers? No, but you know him for the winning. You got to win.
I think Caleb agrees with this. He says that immortality comes from championships. I haven't reached one here in college yet.
Well, I really like those quotes. A lot of those quotes, and I know sometimes we could just say, oh, he's just saying the right thing. If you're Caleb Williams and you already won a Heisman, I'm not telling you that winning a second Heisman isn't great, but it's clear getting to a national championship game or getting to the Final Four, that is the goal. That's Lincoln Riley's goal. That's SC's goal. That's Caleb Williams' goal. You had said something about, what were we talking about? I'm trying to think. That was yesterday. I have to come back and think of it. But there's a lot of times that you say players that we remember or they accomplished because they won.
It's winning. Winning is the only thing. You're going to remember a great performance, but look, here's a perfect example of this. Kirk Gibson was a very good player. We remember him far more favorably and fondly because he hit a home run that won them a World Series than we do because he was a great player. Right? Kirk Gibson couldn't walk in Mike Trout's shadow as a baseball player, but he's going to be remembered in a totally different way than Mike Trout. Mike Trout is a better baseball player, but Gibson's a legend. Gibson is one of the most iconic athletes in the history of this city because he won them a championship, because he hit one of the most memorable home runs in the history of a sport. It's the winning that gets remembered.
This, too. So, how Malcolm Butler is not remembered as one of the best defensive persons of all time. But that interception at the goal line against Seattle will always be remembered, especially if you're a Patriots fan.
Unfortunately, too, there's also a lot of people that are remembered for not winning.
Yeah. Sure.
When you think of Dan Marino, that's a good example. Think of Dan Marino. I think of Charles Barkley. Like, these names come right out because they've been talked about so much for not winning a championship. Karl Malone, John Stockton, there's a lot of those as well.
Basketball players get that more than anybody else because basketball is the sport where if I have the best player, I can make a case.
I'm in
the
most influence.
Right. Yeah. That I can make. So Patrick Ewing could make things happen. Charles Barkley. Problem was Jordan was alive. Jordan was in the house.
But yeah, Dan Marino can't play on the other side of the ball.
Right. There's always an explanation to it. And Caleb Williams' explanation will be, yeah, I won 2 Heisman trophies, but you do know we gave up 43 points a game on the other side. And it's like, because you'll look at the history books or whatever we're looking at, our phones, and say, wait, why didn't they win one? And no one's going to remember why, just that they didn't.
Can you make an argument if he got to listen, he keeps doing what he's doing. They get to that Final Four, but they lose in the Final Four.
Yeah, maybe. It's different, but if you run into Georgia in the semifinal and you lose by a couple of touchdowns, all right. I mean, if he's great and throws for 600 yards and they lose 65 to 63, sure. But
also it could be the 2006 national championship game. You remember that forever, no matter who won or lost.
That I think is the exception that kind of proves the rule. It's one of and maybe it's because it's local. Maybe it's because we keep bringing it up. But rarely do you remember the losing story in a game. That Rose Bowl game is really unique.
Yeah.
Right? Really unique. That you remember Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart and Pete Carroll and all of those guys, even though they lost. And maybe it's because they had won previously.
Yeah.
And that they were looking for another one.
With it.
If they were just, hey, this team came out of nowhere and they lost, it's the Vince Young show. This is the Vince Young show. And, oh, by the way.
Against USC.
You know what's funny? I don't know if you guys remember this or not. Before that season even started, and this is not exactly like this season, but it's close. Before that season even started, ESPN was running a package every week on why this was the greatest college football team of all time. Season hadn't even started yet. They were coming off a national title. Bush was back. Leinart was back. Linda White was back. Pete Carroll. They were loaded, and they were but the season, is this the great? And they're comparing them to all the other great teams. And Texas is just sitting there going, we'll play you. Like, we hadn't even gotten there. That's how good of a football. And I think that's why we remember that team, is it wasn't just like last year's TCU team, which is like, oh, wow, they're in the title? That's crazy.
They're lucky.
Or they just kind of, every year somebody kind of Oregon shows up, like, okay, well, whatever. This was the best team in the history of college football before they'd played a game that year. That's why I think we remember
year that Patriots went 18-0, Randy Moss
the vengeance year.
What were they coming into that season? And I don't remember. I'm more asking. Was it similar to no one's going to stop these guys? Because once the ball started rolling.
I think it was Spygate that broke the year before, and it was like, oh, well, Belichick is doing stuff he shouldn't. He's not. And Belichick basically had watch this season. And they went out and tried to win every game, and they did.
And the closest game they had was the last regular season game against the Giants. That's right.
Against the Giants. How many games does SC win this year? They got 12 regular season games.
10-2.
10-2. M, how many wins does SC get out of 12?
11-1.
11-1. Jorge?
Yeah, 10-2 sounds about right.
I'm going to go with them. I think they stub their toes somewhere.
Okay.
I think that they lose a game that goes, okay. Pac-12's good, not great. Their schedule is backloaded. They've got huge expectations. The defense has to be a little better, right? I'm going to give them one. Give me my points right now.
How about the disappointment? How about the disappointment between those? It's one game, but it's everything.
Oh, it's everything.
Everything.
Look, you could be 11-1 going to the Pac-12 championship game. That's what happened, and bang, you get clipped again. What is that? That's like, that wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
You're 11-2. That's not a good season.
No.
Only at SC and Alabama and Georgia and Ohio State.
And only when Lincoln Riley
they're
came.
doing backflips.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Factor Cap's coming up next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN.
All right, we are experiencing a roadway safety crisis, and we need your help. Go Safely California has a great program going on right now where they're trying to get local residents to help them take actions and find ways to make the road safer. All you're going to do is take this really, really quick, brief survey, but it goes such a long way for everybody out here in Los Angeles. Just visit GoSafelyCA.org. GoSafelyCA.org. Take the brief survey. Go Safely California from the California Office of Traffic Safety.
We're here each weekday, 10 a.m. Factor Cap.
Oh, that's Cap.
That's so cap, Dad.
Everything I've said is a cap, but I'm going to go back.
First of all, it's not a cap. It's
No, it
just
is a cap.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Hey guys.
Yo.
You have been, spared from more Taylor Swift for the past couple segments, so don't worry.
Like it.
We're gonna bring some back.
Thank you, God.
All right, so the Pensacola Wahoos, which is a AA affiliate out of for the Marlins, is doing kind of this special right now. So to have the entire stadium is listed on Airbnb for $5,143 a night. This includes 10 beds in the clubhouse, full access to field all night, batting practice, a full tour, food, merch, and on-call staff. Okay, so you kind of get this whole place to yourself. You can do whatever you want. So this sounds like the perfect bachelor party. Travis, Factor Cap.
Fact. I mean, that would be amazing. If you get the run of a sports facility for you and your buddies or you and your friends for a full day and whatever it is, like you get to take batting practice or, swim in the pool. I don't know, shoot hoops at crypto or whatever it would be. That would be amazing. I would love to do that. That sounds great. Fact for sure.
Al?
This sounds so badass. And I'm seeing the photos here. I'm seeing the photos here, just what the setup looks like and where you're going to be sleeping. Now, the sleeping is very much like you're at a hostel or something like that. It's just because they're cramming so many beds into a room.
Yeah, it looks like bad camp.
That's not exactly the best part, but the concept of this and to be with your buddies, I'm sure everyone would enjoy it. I think this is one of the coolest things out there. It's a great idea.
And by the way, that's not a crazy price point. I mean, it's a lot, but it's not.
Yeah.
But you
can't
10
get
people,
there.
you get like
How much,
whatever
5
else.
Gs?
5 Gs.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that's not bad at all.
500 a head for 10 people?
It's perfect for a Little League baseball team. You
That
rent
would be
that
awesome.
out. That would be really fun, like a really cool sleepover with your team to end the season. Jorge, what do you think?
They have screens on this or no?
What do you mean?
Like screens, like big screens, jumbotrons kind of thing? They don't have screens?
I'm sure you have access to a big
Yeah.
screen, yeah.
Can you imagine a Madden tournament playing on those?
Oh, yeah.
Man. MLB
Awesome.
The Show, NBA 2K playing on those screens? Oh,
Where would
FIFA?
you want to?
Man.
Would you pick Staples if you could have a local venue to yourself for a day and you and your friends got the run of the place? Assume it's affordable and you can have the whole thing.
So I love the idea of a baseball field because you're outside.
Yeah.
That's can we roll in a couple hoops and play outdoor?
Why not? You can.
Maybe you can, maybe you can't.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of being outdoors. So I'd pick a baseball field.
What would you pick, Jorge?
Crypto.
Crypto?
Yeah, crypto. You can put anything in that bowl, basically.
M?
I think SoFi's pretty cool. To be able to have that all to yourself, it's really new. You can do everything on that board ahead of you.
Speaking of
cool.
cutting corners.
Yeah, they did really kind of pinch their pennies. You know what I'd pick? Dodger Stadium is obviously the one that I'd take Riviera Country Club to for a day. By the way, there's restaurants, there's bars, there's all sorts of comfortable places to crash for a few hours. Have the run of the golf course, all the history that comes along with that.
That's a good one.
To take out a bunch of your friends, to just be able to be a Riviera member for a full day and have the run of the place.
Why not
Amazing.
LACC?
I'm a Riviera guy. LACC is very cool. I've never played it, so I can't speak to it, but I've played Riv a few times. I've been at Riv, I don't know, a few dozen times. It's nothing like it.
More
It's my
home
favorite
for
spot.
you. Yeah.
We'll be looking like Baker Mayfield in those commercials, walking around with the trash at the stadiums.
Sleeping on the first tee. Have a sleeping
That's
bag.
awesome.
All right, so Kevin Hart, if you see him around anytime in the next couple of weeks, probably, you might see him in a wheelchair because he tried to challenge an NFL running back to run a 40. So I'm going to play a sound from Kevin talking about the story himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, the age 40 is real. To all my men, women out there that are 40 years old and above, it's not a game. Respect that age. Respect that age. Or that age will make you respect it. Try to go out there and do some young man stuff, and I was told to sit my down. Me and Steven, we got into a little debate. This debate was based off of who was faster. Those that know me know I'm pretty fast. Steven said, Kev, ain't no way you going to beat me. Steven is an ex-NFL running back, played for New England Patriots. I said, Steve, you can bet it. He said, bet. I said, bet. We get out there, we go run the 40-year-old dash. Because I blew all my tore my lower abdomen, my abductors are torn. I don't even know what that is, but I tore them. I tore those two. I can't walk.
All right, so Kevin Hart is definitely hurting. So this is an ad for stretching. Al, Factor Cap.
Fact. But there's more to it than just that. By the way, he might be the best storyteller when nobody's around. When it's just him with his own camera, the dude is just hilarious. I think there's more to it because I think what he said, you could stretch, but you reach a certain point in your life that there's certain things you just shouldn't be doing. I could sit here and stretch for a half hour. I should not be sprinting the 40. I should not be sprinting the 40. And there's also a good chance that if I do stretch and I sprint the 40, I'm still going to get injured.
Of course there is.
So, yes, part of it is an ad for stretching, but at the same time, there's certain things at a certain age you probably shouldn't do.
Trev?
It's an ad for not making stupid bets. It's not an ad for stretching for exactly the reason that Al said. I could stretch until I want. If I tried to run as fast as I can for 5 steps in a row, you don't think that I'm going to end up in the hospital? There's absolutely no chance.
This hallway is a 40.
Yeah.
No, it's 37 yards.
Is it 37?
We measured it, yes. It's not 40. It's not quite 40.
Never, right? It's a don't make yards. A bad bet deal much more than a stretching deal.
Jorge?
It's an ad for know your limitations.
Exactly.
I ran the 40 recently at the Rams combine for, fan combine. We were supposed to go with Mason, but he took the day off. You guys know how he
No way.
goes. So we ran it. Greg and I ran it, and surprisingly, I ran it in 5.5.
That's pretty good.
5.5.
You still got it.
I mean, kinda. But then,
were you sore the next day?
Oh, for the next 3 days. What do you mean the next day? But we talked about this prior to our softball game, and the fact, because I can get to first base real fast.
Yeah.
But then at one point you asked me, you think you can take on Kirk? And you said, absolutely not. Like, you think I could beat Kirk at running the 40?
No, I don't. You guys know my rule.
I would want
when
to
it's
try
an
it.
athlete, when it's
athletes.
a straight athletic competition, never bet against the pro. Right? The betting against the pro seems like a bad idea.
Well, it depends what it is, right? Like pickleball.
Yeah, but that's not just straight out. You got to have a little technique.
And that's my point.
A
my point is
sprint
that, yeah, that's what athletes do.
Yeah, Berg ran it in 5.8. I ran it in 5.5. But we ran it twice.
Kirk or DeMarco?
Keyshawn.
Kirk.
I think so, too.
Yeah, I think Kirk.
I think so, too. DeMarco's looking good, though. He's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah?
He looks great.
So, Bo Nix, who's the quarterback at Oregon this year, he has, moved around a little bit, but he's with the Oregon this year. And he has already started his, play at a Heisman campaign. And so he has these big billboards that he bought out, or not him, but his, agent probably bought out in New York City.
Phil
and
Knight.
they say, Bodacious. And his hands are just out there, and it says Bo in big letters and then Dacious. All right. So Bodacious is a really good slogan for Bo Nix's Heisman campaign. Jorge, Factor Cap.
Yeah, I like it. I like the sound of it. Just, word playing with it. Sure. Yeah, run with it. Will he get it, though? Like, is it one of the things that can... No?
It's a long shot, but not a zero shot.
Okay.
Yeah. I think his odds were 60-1 or something like that.
Yeah, so Andy Staples was going into this on a podcast I was listening to this morning.
He's funny.
And he was talking about how Nix's numbers look similar to what Marcus Mariota was getting when he was in his Heisman campaign, but obviously totally different circumstances for both. And also, if you're competing against Caleb Williams, it's going to be a very high uphill for him. So, Travis, what do you think?
It's a great slogan, and it's odd that Oregon. Maybe it's not odd that Oregon was the first one to kind of start campaigning for Heisman trophies in New York City because, first of all, New York City is not a college football place. That's not a popular sport there. But because there's
the media,
that's where the trophy is presented and all that. They put Joey Harrington on a billboard in New York City 20 years ago, like in the early 2000s. And everybody's like, what the hell are you doing? And now it's kind of normal. Well, who runs Oregon? Phil Knight. What's Phil Knight? He's a guy that, started Nike. Who's the best marketing company in the world? Nike. That they're doing this is not a big surprise. I love the slogan.
Al?
I like it. I think if he got approval from Bo Jackson to do Bo Knows, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, Nike, by the way, Nike campaign.
The only problem is you're asking Bo Jackson, one of the best campaigns, for somebody that is not going to be considered to be Bo Jackson.
Never thought of this until you just said his name. The Bo Jackson conversation is the Shohei conversation we were having at the beginning of the show. That when he was the running back for the Raiders and trucking guys into the end zone, right? And going Spider-Man on the outfield wall and hitting 500-foot home runs in the All-Star game. We're like, oh, Bo's just going to – it's like, nope, weird tackle. And Bo was never the same ever again.
Somebody hit us on Twitter and brought him up. Might have been Big E that was Please tell me this is not one of those types of
God, I hope
stories.
not.
Yeah.
But also, medicine has gone so far, training's gone so far, so hopefully it's not the same way with Shohei Ohtani. So last one for you guys. I'm going to go see a movie tonight. It's called Bottoms. It stars Marshawn Lynch, and he is the teacher of this all-girls fight club at a high school. So it's supposed to be in the vein of, like, Mean Girls, Clueless, like, different generations version of, like, that teen movie.
Comedy?
Yes, it's comedy. It's going to be really funny. So Marshawn Lynch is the funniest NFL player that is still playing or former player. He's just straight up funniest NFL player. Travis, Patrick Cap.
Nobody's jumping to mind first. And here's why Marshawn Lynch is as entertaining as he actually is. I don't think he's trying to be that funny. And that's what makes him so funny, is guys that just have that ability to say the thing that cracks you up just because that's the thing they were going to say anyway. Yeah. Lynch has that. So I'll go fact because I can't come up with somebody off the top of my head.
Cap, I'm going to go Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is just personality-wise, but there's something about Marshawn. If
Manning's trying to be funny,
yeah,
and he is, but he is.
I was just going to say, but he's good.
He's great.
I think there's some people that try to be funny, and it's like, you're trying too hard. I feel like he's really good. The thing with Marshawn Lynch, what you said about he doesn't give a flying you-know-what. Whatever comes out of his mouth, however it comes out, however you look at it, he's so authentically him. And his personality is so good, he's a great pick as well.
All right.
Fact, he used to have this thing on Facebook. He used to have this Facebook show. And I remember this episode. He goes to Vegas in one of those tracks, like where you can race race or whatever. He goes in this Toyota Camry that was all decked out for racing. And he starts doing wheelies, like not wheelies, but he starts doing donuts and all kinds.
It's like when he stole the cart at Cal.
Yes, he destroyed the suspension, the tires, and then he's like, I'm not paying for that stuff. They shouldn't let me drive that thing. I'm not going to pay. As a matter of fact, we have a clip from that we played earlier from Marshawn Lynch. Go ahead.
It was a little lower than most people. What a hit! Oh, my
If
goodness.
this was Sonic, all his coins would have been knocked out right now. And you would have been hearing them things talking about, you're the perfect guy.
Yeah, he wins.
Yeah, that guy's funny, man.
He wins. Emily, I'd forgotten about the cart. That is, do you remember that, Slee? When he jumped in the cart at Cal,
just took off
and started doing donuts,
dodging people and everything.
Amazing. He's more Marshawn Lynch. Let's get hit a Lynch cast. We got a Manning cast. Yeah. Let's do a Lynch cast, and not on Slam Ball.
Imagine him and Snoop. Oh, that'll be funny.
Snoop's another one that's incredibly funny without trying to be incredibly funny, and just deeply likable to almost everybody.
I think we'd have to call it the Marshawn cast.
Marshawn cast works for me. That's good. That works for me. Giannis, Laker fans, don't get too excited, but you can get a little excited. Just a little bit. What's coming up next? It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. You looking for that new Silverado? You better get yourself to Rotolo Chevrolet. You know where it is. You've heard me say it. It's right off the 210 freeway, Sierra Avenue exit in Fontana. You can't miss it. It's the place that's got the sea of Silverados, every make and model that you can possibly think of. You're looking for that new Chevy car or truck, no better place to go than Rotolo Chevrolet. And here's why. They got what you're looking for. They got it at the price that you're looking for. But the customer service, second to none. That's why they've been Dealer of the Year 13 years in a row. Think about it, 13 years in a row. That's why they're number one in sales volume year after year after year, because they take care of people who tell other people who tell other people who tell other people. That's how you do it. Taking care of people. Courteous, transparent, efficient, upfront. You feel great about it at Rotolo Chevrolet, and that's what Mike Capozio and his team are setting out to do every single day, and they hit the bullseye over and over and over again. Come see what all the fun is about at Rotolo Chevrolet. If you can't get out to the store in Fontana, go online, rotolochevy.com, ROTOLO, rotolochevy.com, and tell them that Travis sent you.
ESPN.
Reggaeton now. Reggaeton. On Friday, take out the cheap liquor and the red cups. Start a party, homie.
There is something oddly satisfying about drinking out of those red cups.
Exactly.
It just instantly makes it more festive.
Yeah.
Right?
It's always at the right places, too. It's like it just kind of tells you right out the gate. It's like, yeah, this is... I'm at an event where this is just
tailgate party.
Yeah.
Right. A sporting event, like anything like that. What if you come over to my house, theoretically?
Maybe.
And I gave you I said, what do you want to drink? You said, try to give me a beer or whatever. And I poured in a red Solo. Could be like, this is going to be a good party. Right?
I know that this is we have a good time.
We're getting ready to have a very specific type of event. Yeah. If I gave you, they said, hey, you want an old-fashioned, Slee? And you said, yeah, that sounds good. And I gave it to you in like a crystal old-fashioned glass. You'd be like, oh, this is a certain type. If I gave it to you in a Solo cup, you're like, oh, we're going to get after it.
No, if it's in a nice glass, like we're talking about our Fidelity accounts.
It's different experience. It is a
and
very
if it's in a red Solo cup, we're talking about.
And plus those backyard parties, like the table set up with all the liquor you can think of.
Yeah.
Or anything you have left over from other parties. You bring it out there.
Yes.
You put the red cups and a little thing of ice. And anything goes.
Whatever you want.
Exactly.
Make yourself whatever you like. And by the way, we're going to be here for a while.
Yes, we are. And if we run out, hey, don't worry. Manny's coming. He'll bring some more.
And we're going to have a good time. And Manny's got more coming. Absolutely.
The tailgates are perfect.
Tailgate. And the backyard, it's a different experience.
Yeah.
If I give you a can, okay, cool. If I give you a bottle, okay, cool. I give you a red Solo cup, it's a different party.
It's like it's going to be longer, too. The amount of time that we're doing
it.
By the way, if you're getting a red Solo cup and somebody's at your house and it's, a barbecue during lunchtime, it's going to be a long
You're eating dinner
day.
there, too.
Yeah.
This is just the first round.
12:30. I'm already doing red Solo cups.
You're right. There's a time of day it's like, oh, boy. We go to the Rose Bowl. We got the red Solo cups going, right? So you're having a Bloody Mary out of that thing to start. You're going to probably have a mimosa out of one at another point. You're going to switch to beer, and then later that night, maybe a little vodka cran.
Are you there by 9 a.m., 10 a.m.?
We're on the golf course usually somewhere between 9 and 9:30.
Okay.
Our rally point is the Sears parking lot on Foothill Boulevard.
Yep.
Has been for 20 years, probably longer than that now that I think about it. We meet there about between 8 and 8:30, depending on when everybody gets there. Then it's about a half hour to get to your little campsite. It's my version of camping. That's how it goes. The 10th annual SoCal Hyundai ESPN LA Golf Classic, presented by Coors Light and Hollywood Park Casino, is 2 weeks away. Friday, September 8th at Black Gold Golf Club in Yorba Linda. And even if you're not golfing with us that day, make plans to be with us for the 19th hole party starting at 4 o'clock with the afternoon show. Thanks to Sunday Swagger, San Pedro Fish Market, Craveable, and Tequila Mandala. That sounds like fun. I'm looking forward to that, Slee.
Yeah.
Like Chris would say, it's time for...
How Latinos Pronounce NFL Teams Part 3.
Oh, yeah.
Luis, ya está aquí. Honduras, Nueva England Patriots.
I know that. Play it again.
I got it.
Play it again.
Want me to tell you?
No, not yet. I want to.
Honduras, Nueva England Patriots.
I think I got it.
What is New England Patriots.
New England Patriots.
New England Patriots. Nueva England Patriots. Or Patriots.
It was the pa sound,
That's
right?
solid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to be playing those because we're trying to get into the NFL spirit, as we like to say.
We did what? Was it yesterday, day before Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the Steelers one was kind of easy. That one I needed two tries.
No, but he says it New England.
New England.
Patriots.
Like, like huevos?
Yeah, huevos.
Can you do that?
Huevos Patriots.
Do that during the NFL season when you're going like scores around the NBA or around the NFL. Do one of those for us.
I don't have my first and third hits.
You don't. Gone.
Yeah. Taylor Swift should say New England Patriots. See how it comes out. Yeah, see. All right,
did you see those? You mentioned Giannis. For those who haven't seen it, this one's actually a little confusing to me. You and I have talked about this. I love when stars put pressure on franchises.
No doubt.
I mean, and in the NBA, I always think of LeBron, who used to always sign those 2-year deals, but it's a player option in the second year, basically telling the Cleveland Cavaliers, telling Dan Gilbert, get your you-know-what together because I'm not promising you anything past this 1 year. Giannis had a quote, and it was talking about he's going to be eligible for an extension next summer.
Okay.
He said, I would not be the best version of myself if I don't know that everybody's on the same page. Everybody's going for a championship. Everybody's going to sacrifice time away from their family like I do. And if I don't feel that, I'm not signing. Got to be honest with you. And there's a couple ways I want to tie this back to the Lakers, but I had no idea Giannis was maybe feeling a certain way. And the Milwaukee Bucks, if I tell you, hey, look at franchises around the NBA right now, do the Bucks not feel like they're all in? Seems like they've been all in for really since Giannis has been there, and they kind of knew realistically we could potentially win an NBA championship.
Right.
So I don't really know where that's coming from, and I don't know what he's talking about, nor am I going to try to kind of figure it out, unless you have an angle on that.
Well, I mean, not to be too, belligerent about he's upset about something, right? Because to your point, it feels like they've been competitive. They've been in it. They had a little bit unlucky. They had some injuries along the way, but that is a heavy bat to swing. That is a give me what I want or else. That's all that means. There's obviously something that he knows and that he feels they know that he wants that they haven't given him, and he's putting them on notice.
If Anthony Davis didn't sign an extension with the Lakers, okay, we do it when we come back. If AD didn't sign an extension with the Lakers, and he said something like that publicly to public reporters and everything else, I'm curious of, Giannis is different, and he's just different. Would LeBron James at this stage of his career, would any of those guys, if they said something like this, would the franchise, the Milwaukee Bucks are going to do whatever Giannis wants him to do? And there's probably only a few guys in the NBA, maybe more than just a few. What do you think? Maybe 10 players?
It's a great question. I'm kind of trying to think about it. It's not a long list. I don't think it's 10. It might not be 5.
Or you have desperate franchises that are like, no, we'll do whatever you name who it is. Shea. Maybe Shea Gilgeous a different one because he's Shea. But when we come back, I'm curious to get your thoughts on if Anthony Davis had said something similar, does he hold still that type of weight with the Lakers? We'll do that when we come back. Stay right here. Travis and Slee, 710 ESPN.
That's by far my favorite. Out of all the ones we played, it's my
100%. Yeah,
100%.
Are you going to play this on your way home? That's what I want to hear.
I already did on the way here, so that's why we started.
So it's going to be easy.
Yeah, this is stuck in my head, man. I tell Emily every time I say it, I'm like, I don't know the lyrics, but I'm just making up my own.
I like this. I'm going to have it. It's going to be my theme song when I do my PA tonight. I'm going to play it behind First and 10, Dana Hills. We could be forever. Touchdown, Dolphins.
And then you do the sound.
That's not a great dolphin. Can I confess something to you, Al? I'm a little nervous. I really am. I'm really
you're
nervous.
hyping yourself. Hyping yourself up a little.
I don't want to get a kid's name wrong. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't want to get a kid's name wrong because I know it'll bother the mom and the dad. Probably the mom more than the dad. And it will. I don't want to blow.
That's an interesting. That's a good perspective of putting it. You know, you got all the parents there. They're all sitting there watching.
That's
their
the
kids.
only people that are there. Mm-hmm. This is not modern day.
Right.
Okay. This is not Bosco or Long Beach Poly.
Yeah.
This is different. This is a community that does not have a.
I'm looking
long
forward
tradition
to the
of CIF championships.
The recap on Monday.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
I can't
no
wait.
pressure. Home opener. You're good.
It's a big game. It's against Laguna Beach. I care, Emily. That's who cares.
What if they reach out to you tomorrow and they're like, hey listen, we'd really like to chat about yesterday's performance.
We really want to thank you for what you've done, but we just feel that we'd be better served if we got one of the parents from the team involved in this.
It's really not you.
Can I tell you
It's
another
us.
secret?
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
You get your Fridays back.
Well, it's not even that I got fired from that would be maybe I put it on the top of my resume.
Yeah.
Fired as PA announcer of high school football. Can't wait.
Succeeded in all these other avenues of radio and TV and this, but nope, not the Dana Hills football team.
Time's the game.
Pull.
7 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
7 o'clock. Going to be there at 6, Jorge. Make sure that everything's organized. Make sure I have what I need. Make sure that the roster lines up with the actual. But I'm literally going to have the numbers, and I'm going to find a dad and go, "Hey, is number 12 actually Billy Banks or whatever his name is?" I'm gonna do a little recon.
Hey, give us a run. Give us a run of the snack bar. How's that going to sound like?
Reminder, Dolphin football fans, that hot dogs and soft drinks and coffee is available at the Dana Hills Snack Bar located at the north end of Dana Hills Stadium. Support your Dana Hills Dolphins by buying yourself a sweatshirt tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, it's about to get cold here in a couple of months. See, I blew it.
Boo.
This wasn't your script. I need you to write me something. So here's the list I came up with when you were talking about. Giannis basically put the Bucks on notice that he wants what he wants. Because, real quick, this is Giannis. I would not be the best version of myself if I don't know that everybody's on the same page. Everybody's going for a championship. Everybody's going to sacrifice time away from their family like I do. And if I don't feel that, I'm not signing.
Yep.
Taking that, it's very strategic. What this is give me what I want or I'm out. That's what that means. That's all that means. I want what I want, and not in a bad way. I'm your best player. You need to accommodate me.
And I think one of the things that you and I mentioned was you expect that from. I'll give an example. If Luka said that, I'd be like, okay, hey, I get that.
Yeah,
Luka's on a Mavs team. Don't really know the direction they're going in. He hasn't really played with another superstar. The fact that it's Giannis who's won an NBA championship, that maybe, like you said, a little bad luck in the playoffs, even though they should have lost to the Miami Heat. However you want to look at it, that one's a little surprising coming from a player who's won a chip and they've had success in Milwaukee.
Doesn't matter why. If he feels that way,
no, it doesn't.
The why is almost irrelevant, right?
I like it.
I do too.
Yeah.
But whether it's reality or perception almost doesn't matter. If this is how he feels, this is how he feels, and that's what he wants. Here's the list of guys that if they basically said what he said, the organization jumps to and fixes it. Okay, what do you want? All right, we're going to go get that done today.
Okay.
Luka for sure, right? I think Devin Booker has got juice like that right now.
I agree.
I think Booker is a guy that does that. I think if Steph Curry said something like that, they would jump to in a hot second.
Not the other guys, only Steph.
Yep. I think Steph has that kind of now we're running into a shorter list, right? I don't think Ja Morant gets whatever he wants anymore. Had we not been where we are right now, if Ja Morant were a more reliable person, I think he gets what he wants.
1,000%.
But he's not.
He's not. He hasn't shown the maturity. He hasn't shown any of that.
Is that the list?
I'll throw you a name.
All right.
Tatum?
Probably, yeah.
I think Tatum might be.
I think you're right.
He might be.
Embiid.
Okay. I was going to say, the only other one that I had on here is Embiid.
Yeah.
Jokic I'm not putting on there because we all know Jokic is...
He just wants to go ride horses in Serbia.
And Jokic will be fine, and I think we'll see.
Jokic is on the list, too.
Jokic is on the list, but we'll see if that ever were to come up. Anthony Davis, before he signed that extension, he comes out with the same quote. I actually really do believe this. I think he's one of the players that if you're the front office, well, we don't have to worry about that. We're not going to pay attention to it anymore. I don't think AD has that. I don't think AD has maybe the juice that was there in the past or whatever the case is. I think if Anthony Davis, if there was a threat to the Lakers front office, which there isn't, and he just signed, he's going to be with the Lakers for 5 years, but if Giannis and Embiid and Jokic can do that, I don't think it would have been taken the same way with Anthony Davis.
It's a different snap, too. Giannis, let's make it ridiculous. If Giannis said, hey, I know our colors are blue and green. I want to turn them to pink and yellow.
Yep.
They're going to have a meeting on turning it to pink and yellow. Right? They're going to, okay, hold on.
You want the shorts to be
right.
What predominant color?
If Anthony Davis made that same request, I want to go from purple and yellow. I want to turn the Lakers to Dodger blue and Forest green. Okay, all right. Come in. What's going on? Let's have a conversation. What's really going on here? Can we fit there? They're not doing it. They're going to have a conversation. They're going to talk about it. They're going to try to get to the root of the problem and what's going on. But it's not hey, we got to give him what he wants or he's bouncing. There's not a lot of, and that's not a slight on Anthony Davis. That's a pretty short list. You got to be young. I have to be certain that you're going to be here for me. That's why Giannis is on the list.
When AD was in New Orleans,
little different for sure.
And it's also, what is the franchise? Is the franchise having success with or without you?
For sure.
Or are you kind of the only reason why they've been successful is because of you? That's Giannis. That's Giannis with the Bucks. What were the Bucks before that?
They were not very good for a very long time.
So I think that has something to do with it as well.
Yeah, no, he's the list. The Lakers don't have somebody right now. If LeBron wants something, they're going to have a meeting. They're going to talk about it. They're going to try to accommodate him. But it's not a or else situation anymore. Just because he's in his 40s, right? That he's in his his 22nd season.
His 21st season. He'll be 39 in December.
So I'm going to listen. I'm going to try to do it, but I can't say whatever you want, we're going to do it. They don't have a guy like that on their team right now.
Yeah,
Is there any world that Giannis comes to LA?
So, interesting question. Here's my understanding. And I don't know if this is true or not, but the perception that I've heard is that he does not like LA as a city, that he is not an LA type of guy. Could you change his mind?
He spends his offseason here. You know, he walks around, probably business more, but, you know.
Yeah, he's a Milwaukee guy. He likes Milwaukee, right?
I think he likes also, for some of these guys, there's I'm king here.
He'd be king wherever he goes.
He'd be king wherever he went, but you're just another person in L.A. that has done it here before. Giannis,
There's
Kareem,
to that.
right? Like there's two guys that have won an NBA championship in Milwaukee, Giannis and Kareem. And how long ago did Kareem do it? He did in the 70s. So I think there is a little bit of the I own this city. It's a small market, but I cannot be a bigger fish.
Yeah, to your point,
that changes.
That Vince Carter documentary, like nothing to do in Toronto.
Right.
And after he took over, it was just his town, hit the clubs, the whole. He began this whole scene after that. He made it his city.
Here's what's going to happen. That because Giannis has basically put them on blast with, I'm not going to sign unless you fix what I don't like.
Is everybody else determined like me?
Everybody is going to speculate on where he's going to go, and because the Lakers are the Lakers, they'll always be a part of that speculation. That this is arguably the greatest advantage that the Lakers have, is that they're always a potential destination for every big name in basketball. That if you are a star in this league and you are unhappy or you're about to become a free agent, the Lakers are always going to get, whether they're actually interested or not.
Agents probably use that as a rumor just on purpose.
To go to L.A. Look, I'm sure Austin Reeves at Team USA right now is whispering in some ears. I'm telling you, man, I'm Austin Reeves. Look at their billboards of me all over the city. What would it be for you, Anthony Edwards? I'm Austin Reeves. You're Anthony Edwards. What would they do for you?
It's a great
in the
example.
City, right? That Bosch and Wade and LeBron allegedly came to an understanding when they were on the Olympic team in China. Like, hey, you know what would be pretty cool? If we all went somewhere and played together. I'm sure Austin Reeves is in people's ears. Why wouldn't he be?
Lakers schedule comes out. You and I were talking about this when it came out a week or so. The front cover of the schedule was LeBron in the middle, AD to the left, Austin Reeves to the right.
Sure.
It's a good way to put it. Did you see some of those, and somebody was asking him recruiting Team USA players like you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't speak on that, but I like some of the guys we're playing with, so
no, he can't say it like officially, right? Is that's a violation or something? Can players
can players tamper?
It's
not tampering,
so.
But I think I think players are under a different. It's different than if.
Yeah,
coach.
If
when Phil Jackson said, "Wouldn't Chris Bosh look?"
Right, Phil Jackson.
When Doc was
says
on that special on ESPN.
Doc Rivers says it. If Michael or John said something like it, it's different than if LeBron says, "Oh man, I love Damian Lillard." That's not tampering. If the head coach if Darvin Ham said, "You know who's awesome?"
This is how we would use him.
Right. It's different, but of course he's going to be whispering in his ear. Why wouldn't he be? This is what you do. You try to recruit people. If you have juice, you try to squeeze it a little bit.
I'm not saying this is going to happen. Nobody is. But Giannis was one of the few players, and I know he did it joking around, but I don't think it's going to be a joke at some point in the next 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
When all that money was being thrown around, Neymar to Saudi Arabia, Ronaldo to Saudi Arabia, and he's joking around. He had that, and even LeBron jumped on it as well. Hey, you want me to come out there for a year? What are we paying out there? Okay, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. But I did think of that when I saw this. I did think that did come to my head for a quick second, and it's come to our head when we talked a little bit about the LIV tournament, when the LIV tournament was going on. What makes you think it can't leak into other sports?
It already has. LIV was not first. The Saudis basically own F1. They are so
and a lot of the Premier League.
And most of the Premier League, and they've already clipped off a bunch of soccer guys to come to their league too. The LIV was not the beginning. LIV's like the middle of this whole thing.
And so here's another guy out there, one of the guys we talked about earlier in the segment, which guys that have control over their destiny because they deserve it. So Jokic is right now in Serbia. He's living it up in Serbia. There's videos of him all the time at the club having a great time. He has often said, right after he won the championship, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
He clearly does not love Denver, does not love United States. He loves Serbia.
Do you think it's a Denver thing, or do you think it's this isn't home for me, my home's in Serbia?
I think he loves Serbia.
Right.
I think he loves Serbia.
He's someone that maybe isn't totally committed to the NBA in terms of, being in the United States. If he can play competitive basketball elsewhere,
okay.
I don't know.
It's a really interesting idea, but here's the thing. I think what you see with Jokic is mostly what you get. I think he is somebody that likes to be at home. He is somebody that is proud to be Serbian and spend his time there.
Absolutely.
But what he also is wildly, wildly competitive. And the best play is here. It's not just going to be I'm closer to home or I got this much money. That there is still this me going and smashing a bunch of guys that would not even sniff the NBA is not super. Not yet.
I was going to say, aren't you supposed to do that at the end?
Yes,
at the end.
Yes, at the end. We'll go get to this now. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when and who and how much. Mm-hmm. It will. The thing that surprised me a little bit is that that they haven't made the big play for the Wembanyama, the Scoot Henderson. Let's get one of because that's what the USFL did. The only league that really kind of pushed the NFL in the last 40 or 50 years was the UFL. They got Steve Young. They got Doug Flutie. They got Herschel Walker. They got Reggie White. They got Jim Kelly. They didn't pick old guys on their way out. They got new guys on their way in, and they paid them huge. You need a little bit of both, but the USFL worked right up until it didn't. They had really good football players. That's a different way to do it. Hey, LeBron at the end of your career, okay, that's kind of Wembanyama at the beginning. It's a little different. It's a little different. Mookie's going back to Boston for the first time since he wore the Red Sox uniform. That can't possibly be right. That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Football season's about to kick off, and FanDuel's giving you the chance to win all season long. Because right now, when you bet on a Super Bowl winner, you can get bonus bets every time they win in the regular season. So visit FanDuel.com/play and start earning bonus bets with America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/play. 21 plus and present in Arizona, Connecticut, Iowa, Illinois, Louisiana. Permitted parishes only. Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. It's the Waba Grill Lunch Hour on 710 ESPN. Thanks to our friends at Waba Grill. Waba Grill is about giving you fresh, grilled-to-order menu items at a great value. Stop by today for a value bowl and taco combo for only $8.59. Grilled chicken mini bowl, their new Boom Boom taco and drink for only $8.59. Get yours today. Order ahead at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, eat smart, be healthy.
Under $9, come on.
For a bowl,
come
a
on,
taco, and a drink?
Come on, get out of here.
By the way, You know what's a deeply underrated thing? Any sort of bowl. When you have, whether it's a burrito bowl, a Waba Grill bowl, anytime you just take all the stuff that you like in the other thing and throw it in a bowl, that's a winner.
1,000%.
Yeah, you throw it in a tortilla.
1,000%.
Tortilla's better because it's more carbs and carbs are winning.
But you can't go in the bowl. I'm with you. You know, you ever go to and this is a good example, but a rice bowl with, doesn't matter, chicken, steak,
little vegetables,
couple
in
vegetables
there,
on the side,
the
soy sauce, teriyaki. Come on.
Yeah. What about some chunks of pineapple? Who's mad at that?
I'm not mad.
Strawberries on your salad? Yeah, no thanks.
Well, I'm in between. Like, you like it and you want to fight someone over it. I'm kind of in the middle here.
I don't order it. I don't go out of my way to order it. She orders it. I'm eating it.
What are you doing this weekend?
Not against it. We're going to actually go watch a movie later today. Have you guys
seen... Is it the Marshawn Lynch movie?
I wish it was.
I know, right?
I wish it was.
Sounds good.
It does.
Okay, she wants to see...
Pluto Nash.
It's supposed to be funny. She wants to go see Strays. I
want to see that.
Is that the dog Will Ferrell movie?
Yep.
Yeah, and it's R-rated. I want to say it's Jamie Foxx is also in it.
Jamie Foxx. This is kind of funny. So the reason why I'm in on this, the fact that it's rated R, I'm like, this is going to actually be really funny.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're going to curse, do whatever they want. It's taken as a joke. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a little bit about it. There's
it's Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx.
It's not a kid's movie. It's
not
a kid's movie.
Not at all. And there are a few restaurants around this theater in Pasadena, so we'll go do a little happy hour there and then go right to the theater.
That's a winning night.
It's perfect.
Is it not one of those theaters that serves you, or do you just want to eat there?
So it serves, but we want like a proper meal.
Right.
We'll get our proper meal. Good food, like they're known for their food, rather than go to the theater where it's...
The theater stuff is great. It's a nice option to have. It's convenient. I love that you can get a drink. The food is usually fairly mediocre.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's
Alamo Drafthouse is actually pretty good food.
Is it good?
Yeah, I agree.
You go to a ballpark. Most of the time, you're not saying, I'm going there because the pretzel with no cheese that's coming.
Got the best ramen I've ever had in my life at Petco Park.
Yeah, the poke at SoFi.
Right, exactly.
So that's why I think you get your food before and then you go in.
Yeah. What do you got going in?
So tonight I'm going to go see Bottoms. I'm super excited about that. Hopefully it'll live up to the hype in my head. Tomorrow, preseason, hot preseason action for the Rams. And then Sunday we've got a reschedule of our slip and slide party at my house, which will be really fun. So I'm excited for that.
No hurricane this weekend.
No hurricane this week. So
you can do. How many people?
Probably like 20-ish, maybe a little more.
Are you responsible for anything other than hosting? Do you have to do drinks or food?
We're doing like beer games, and so I'm buying like the slush, like beer. So I'm buying the beer that's being used specifically for games. So I have like a whole thing of seltzer and a whole thing of Coors that are just kind of the things that if people are gluten free, they can't have the Coors. They can have the seltzer, but that's to be used for games.
Does that ever cross your mind to get the thing that so the people that might have an intolerance for one thing or the other?
Hell no, I'm getting what I'm getting, and if you don't want to drink it, you can't. Sorry.
There's majority of these people in this group of people are both vegan and gluten-free. So.
Well,
I don't know if I believe you.
You're far more conscientious.
I feel like you are looking out for the crew.
I want variety, so my guests have a good time, but I would not specifically make sure I had a gluten-free option. It would never cross my mind.
Yeah, that wouldn't. Specific, like, I think the gluten-free, by the way, I still don't even know what it is. Like, I get it. I don't understand.
Some people have celiac disease.
No, I understand.
No, we understand
You're
all of
right.
That, yeah.
It's just I'm not going to do the right thing. What about you? What do you got going?
Me, nada. I
Nada?
had the LAFC game this week.
You're chilling.
Yeah, I hung out with a couple friends over the week. I'm good.
So I'm you get home. What do you get home today? 5 o'clock? A little before?
3-ish, yeah, before.
3? Okay,
yeah.
3? You walk through the front door?
Yep, there's a 12-pack in there that I left last night.
By the way, that thing's been calling your name for weeks. It's like, I got to get that thing out of here.
He's just in the backyard with all the red Solo cups and the full bar set up. He's like,
By
screw
himself.
everybody else. I got this on my own.
Extra gluten on the table. so everybody
I was
can.
planning on going, but we'll set it up for a different day.
We'll do it a different day.
Yeah, different one.
I don't know if I need you to witness my debut.
All right.
I need,
you need a couple in.
rep. I need at least one.
If it was any
rep.
other day.
I want to play this for you guys. This is Andrew Friedman. He was on Joel Sherman and John Heyman's podcast the other day and talking about the idea of you either win it all or you had a bad season. And this is the best explanation for why that's not true, but why it feels true that I've heard anybody ever offer. It's a little long, but stick with it because he gets to where I think we're all, as Dodger fans, hoping we don't have to deal with again.
I know that we are ultra competitive and want nothing more than to win a World Series in that year. And in years where we haven't, those 3, 5, 10 days after are so difficult to get back on the horse. It's so daunting to even think about how you get back to where you just were, the morning of that deciding game, and just how difficult it is. And all the joys and successes along the way feel empty at that point. And it's hard to live in a world where there's one success and 29 failures, but I feel that way emotionally at the end of each year. If we haven't won, I feel that way. Just doesn't feel right, but it's ultimately why we do what we do, is to win the World Series. And so if you don't, by definition, that year was not a success. And I'm not good at, just the binary nature of, okay, yes, successful, no, not. There's still degrees of that. It provides some solace, but not a ton. So there's like a intellectual part of this that doesn't make sense to me for that to be the case. But emotionally, I get it because I feel it.
I think that's every single Dodger fan. What he just described is exactly right. That emotionally, I feel it. Intellectually, it doesn't make any sense. So you're telling me that there's 30 teams and one team had a good year? That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't add up intellectually. That the joys and successes instantly feel empty, right? That the 29-1, that I don't feel that way, but that's exactly how it feels when it happens. I think that's the challenge of being a Dodger fan. As weird as that sounds, is to be in the moment, to know that they're about to go win another 100 games this year.
Yeah.
But just knowing that if they have a bad week, it's like, what the hell did we just do again? That's a really difficult thing to reconcile. And it's why you get to the point where you just say, well, just fire the manager because you got to try something different. And your intellectual side of your brain and your emotional side of the brain, they just can't come together on that wild amount of success that's instantly losing over the course of 3 or 4 days.
So I'm not a fan of the 29 teams failed and only one won the whole thing. Only one succeeded. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's not apples to apples. So the reality is, going into every single season, you have a handful of teams that you believe, okay, they have the greatest chance to win it all. Nobody walked into this year. If the Colorado Rockies made the playoffs, that's a successful season. And I don't think you can look at it any other way. And, let's use some of these other teams that are competing right now. I didn't know Miami was going to be in the mix here. I didn't know.
Well, they have a Gaucho as their manager. You should have known that.
There you go. Arizona, the Diamondbacks, we thought, hey, too young, not yet. They're in the mix. I'm not telling you these are good teams. What I'm saying is, if they get to the playoffs and they're knocked out immediately, their fan base is going to say, that was a good year. Mm-hmm. That was fun. So the 29 failures versus 1, the problem that the Dodgers have, which is what every franchise wants to be, they want to be in the mix every single year. And every year that you're in the mix, you start creating a different type of expectation. The Lakers went 10 years without winning an NBA championship, and it was like, oh my gosh, what's happened to this franchise? What are they doing? Since 2010, they haven't won a chip. It's just they have been so successful. They created this, if you don't win it all, and this is under this group. Mm-hmm. This is under Andrew Friedman as well.
The golden age of Dodger baseball.
The golden era.
As far as regular season success, this is the greatest 10, 11-year run they've ever had.
Can I ask you this question? You tell me if this is a successful season or not for this team. Braves don't win a World Series. Successful or not?
No.
Dodgers don't win a World Series.
No.
Successful or not?
No.
Is there any other team, maybe Philadelphia because they got to the World Series? Let's just add them in there. That's 3. I don't think there's any other team in the NL. I mean, you could say maybe the Padres and the Mets.
The Padres and the Mets are the other two that at the beginning of the season, it was World Series or bust.
If I even want to add those 2, that's 5.
Yeah.
Okay, go to the other side.
Houston, Yankees.
Let's say another 5 teams in the other side. Really what you're saying is there's 10 teams that are ultimately disappointed at the end of the day. And the problem that we've had with the Dodgers, they've been on the wrong side too many times.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's intellectually incredibly easy to understand, but emotionally impossible to process. You're out. This sucks. Yeah, we won 100 games. You can only get in so many. Yeah, but it sucks. We lost. Again, to them.
Sometimes you hit the ball right on the head. It just happens
It just sucks. And I think that's what he's getting at, that I know how hard it is to get here, but when I lose, I think it sucks too. That I know how hard it is just to get back to where we were at the beginning of the season, to do it again in another 4 or 5 months. I know how hard that is, and I should be proud of the fact that we did it again, but it sucks. We just lost to that guy. We just lost. Jake Cronenworth just beat us. I'm paying this guy X amount of dollars, and this guy's going to the Hall of Fame, and we're out to those guys? What? It's really hard. And eventually, the emotional side, for me, takes over the intellectual side. Last year, it's kind of like, all right. I mean, I guess it happened again. I don't know why it keeps happening, but at some point, the emotional impact and the emotional weight of constantly being the favorite and constantly coming up short is like, this sucks. Change something. I don't care what it is. Just change something, because running it back again doesn't work.
I like that soundbite much more than I like last year's, where they were saying, do you know how hard it is to win 100? Are you guys appreciating what we're doing in the regular season?
In their defense, they said it before they got knocked out.
They did.
Yeah.
But our question was, the timing of that was, but why are you guys talking about that right now? I think
when that soundbite would have been the best? At the beginning of spring training the next year. That's when that would be the easiest to digest. Listen, we're devastated that we got knocked out again. We're trying desperately to figure out what's not working at that point in the season. But don't lose track of the fact that we're getting ready to put together another team to go to the playoffs the 12th year in a row. That's really hard, too. And before, you're like, yeah, okay, let's go again. In the moment, it's like, I don't care. And we're out by the Padres. Don't tell me this should be good enough before it's even started. The playoffs, that is. And that's where they were. It's just they are one of one when it comes to expectations, but the intellectual side and the emotional side are not adding up anymore. It's a good clip. Not adding up anymore. Mookie's going back to Boston. Is that the greatest steal that the Dodgers have had under Andrew Friedman? That's coming up. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. In an accident, you need to know that not all personal injury attorneys are the same. The reason you need to know is because they're not, right? Sweet James, it's different. Sweet James is the one that's been awarded best attorneys in America. Sweet James only does personal injury. That's what they do all day, every day. They're on time, money, energy, resources into strengthening your case so they can maximize that settlement. That's why you want a firm like Sweet James that has that experience, that has a winning record, helping injured victims get the medical care that they need with life-changing settlements. So you're saying to yourself, Trev, what does life-changing settlement mean? He's collected over $1 billion. That's quite a bit. $1 billion with a B. He's collected more in a year than most people do in their entire lifetime. So if you're hurt in an accident, make the call that I've made. Call Sweet James, 1-800-9-MILLION. That's 1-800-9-MILLION, 1-800-900-0000, and sweetjames.com. All right, let's give a congratulations to our winner of the Waba Grill Workplace Winner of the Week. Let's go to Los Angeles and Ed Torres. Ed, congratulations.
Atta
you
baby,
are this
Ed.
week's winner. How's it feel?
Thank you very much. Feels good, guys. Looking forward to these Boom Boom Tacos.
Absolutely. You get the Boom Boom Tacos. You get lunch for your entire office. And Ed, this is important. Who is your favorite show on 710 ESPN?
Oh, clearly it's you guys.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Good job, Ed. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys.
You got it. Ed wins this week's Waba Grill Workplace of the Week. Where do you work? Where can you get it all squared away? You got to go to ESPN.com. You got to listen all day long when we tell you the cue to call.
That's all you got to do.
And you got a chance to win as well.
Listen to us, and we'll hook you guys, hook your entire office up with lunch.
That's pretty good.
I'm going to call from the hallway next week.
I would do the thing where I would pretend that, hey, guys, it's not for the whole office. I won lunch, and then I would just dole it out for myself over the course of several weeks.
You just, where do you want us to deliver to? You just give your home address?
Boom Boom Tacos again, Trav? Yep.
Are you sure this is a residential address? Yeah, that's it.
I work from home. Yeah, I do. I do telemarketing from the house, and this is what it is. It's good. Good job, Ed. All right. I just looked at the stuff they sent me for tonight's Lee. 6 pages.
6 pages?
Yeah.
6 pages.
Take a peek. 3, 4, 6 pages.
Sometimes when I go
my
on,
position?
Yeah.
Quarterback, lineman, wide
favorite
receivers,
food,
kickers. Like
No,
the
this
Little
is
League.
this is just sponsors and welcome to the band and the cheerleaders and all of the important
when
things.
you do your prep for Rams pregame.
This is going to take more time.
6 pages? I don't have 6 pages on mine.
Well, it's because I put each different segment on a different page. That's why it's like 8 pages for the Rams.
It's a lot. Can't
the
wait.
problem is you're not going to be there with him tonight.
Yeah,
that's the
Emily.
problem.
You may need to carve out some time on Friday nights.
We can
forward.
negotiate
I may
a
need your
price.
help. Yeah, like I will not make you
Send her to
work for
Mexico
free.
City.
I can hook
She's
you up
in.
with Boom Boom Tacos. How about that?
She's in Taylor Swift concert. That's
Hey,
all.
so you say you have to announce your guys.
Yeah.
What about the other team?
I'm going to try. So I have a roster for the other
Okay.
guys. I want to be able to say, touchdown, Joe Blow for the other team. I'm not going to do it enthusiastically, but, there's kids on the other side too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to root for them the way I'm going to root for my Dolphins.
There's a rival PA announcer on the other side.
He's just yelling. He's yelling, you stink. Yeah, it could happen. Emily,
that's funny.
Yeah, there's a lot. The roster. We got
That's
some
a lot of notes, man.
Now I've gone
Now
from
you're
nervous
extra
to
nervous.
like, okay. I almost said something I shouldn't say. Mookie Betts. You know what I was going to say, don't you?
Yes,
you
I
do.
can't say it either.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Fridays you can say it.
Yeah,
I think
well,
that was
we'll
negotiated.
See. Maybe we'll see. If it depends on whether I want to come back for another year or whether they want me back for another year. We'll see how it all shakes out. Mookie, believe it feels like Mookie's been a Dodger for a long time. Hasn't been super long. This is his 4th season with the Dodgers, but this is the first time he's going back to Boston as a member of the Dodgers. And it's kind of hard to put yourself back that long ago, but when Mookie became available, everybody kind of looked around like, they're going to move Mookie Betts? Really?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Like, I don't know what. It's the Red Sox. This isn't the Kansas City Royals.
Yep.
This isn't the Oakland A's. This is the Boston Red Sox. What are they doing? Dodgers jumped on it. They made the trade. And by the way, look at who they gave up. No disrespect to guys like Alex Verdugo, who's a part of that deal, but this was not where all of a sudden, Will Smith is the catcher for the Dodgers or the Red Sox. It's like, okay, they got a really good guy too. They've got some guys, but nothing like that. This is I think the perfect example of what the Dodgers are really good at is they recognized exquisite talent. And again, Mookie was not a hidden gem or anything, but they said, we'll pay a premium price for that. We will give you what you get. And then they virtually immediately extended him for where the contract he's on now.
365 or 12 years.
Huge dough, long term, and they did it. And guess what's happening? He's killing it. He might win the MVP this year. His bad seasons as a Dodger have been pretty good seasons. This season is probably his best as a Dodger, but Freddie Freeman falls right into this category again. When they see something that they think is valuable, they don't mess around and nickel and dime. They go get it.
Yeah, this is when we put that reference and we're joking around about it that they go to Nordstrom Rack and they found J.D. Martinez at a discount, and they thought, we can work with this. We can, it might take a little bit more time to kind of figure it out and this and that. This is no, we are going
to Tiffany.
We're going to the main store, and we're not even negotiating. We're just saying, we want this, and let's figure out a way to make it happen. We'll go back to something that you just said. When you said that he became available, right? And I'm with you. I remember looking back at it. This actually also falls in line with Freddie Freeman as well for me. I really think his deal, for all the types of numbers and years that are being thrown out there, how Freddie is also, I think it's not just we went out and got our guy. They went out and got really good players that are perfect for the clubhouse, that you can build around. And tell me those numbers. They're not crazy. The numbers, how many bad contracts can you get to before you get to Mookie Betts? And I'm talking about long years. Right. I'm talking about how many bad contracts can you get to before you get to Freddie Freeman? That even when they do commit to long-term deals, the longer those deals go, the more those deals don't look like that much as far as their average salary per year.
It's going to be really interesting. Clayton Kershaw, look, I'll be honest. I would have thought Clayton Kershaw would have not been Clayton Kershaw by the year 2023. I would have lost that bet, right? I would have thought that he was either far less effective than he is now, or he was on a different team because somebody was going to overpay him to go somewhere else. He's still elite. He's still one of the best pitchers in baseball. So as long as he's performing and as long as he's with the Dodgers, he's going to be the face of that team moving forward. But is Mookie not the second? Like, when you think of the next guy that's not Kershaw and the first person that pops in your head, it's got to be Mookie, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any hesitation. And I think, how L.A., it's one thing for you to be embraced. It's another thing for you to deliver. And you said this 2 days in a row. Has this dude almost have 40 home runs?
He's 5'9", 170 pounds or whatever.
I think he is. I think he is the face of the franchise. Let's go back a couple days ago, and I know this is LeBron's at the game getting his bobblehead, and it's Mookie and out. LeBron, 2 home runs. Hey, let me put on a show for you. I know you put on a show at Crypto all the time. Welcome to my house.
Right.
Hits 2 home runs, does his whatever he does, tip of the cap. I think there's something to that. You said something. You said the best trade that Andrew Friedman has made, it's clearly Mookie, and then it's kind of, all right, everyone's fighting for number 2 or whatever. You could say Trey Turner, Max Scherzer. You can go, I don't know, Manny Machado, Darvish. But these are guys who are only there for
limited time.
But the Mookie one is, I don't think there's anything even close.
They got the best player in the league at the time, or if it was Trout, he was the second best player. He was in the top 3 or 4 at worst, and they got him for. They did not have to empty the bank to go get it done. Go figure. Go figure. The Dump coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
The perfect
Little League team, Slee, they have advanced to the U.S. Championship round for
So
the
cool.
Little League World Series.
Against Texas?
Against Texas? It's always California, Texas. Occasionally you'll get a Florida. Occasionally you'll get somebody from the Northeast. But California
I think
and
Hawaii
Texas. Hawaii's pretty good,
last
too.
year, if not 2 years ago.
Yeah, it always feels like it's California and Texas.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
the best
remember.
club teams.
I remember back in the SD days, I think Chula Vista. There was a Little League team at Chula Vista. They got far. But that's, man, when you have like a cool local story like that, how awesome. El Segundo, like that is really cool.
It's going to be something, you can't say this very often. Like all of us, everybody listening, all of us in this room right now, you remember things when you're 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, 20, and you have little pockets of memory. This is a thing you will remember vividly, like for weeks at a time. It's not just I hit a home run in a Little League game when I was 10 and everybody threw soda on my head. This is a totally different thing. This is like nobody gets to have this memory, and they're going to have that memory at 12 years old. It's pretty neat.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty. You guys ever had any extended run in a youth sport that went a little bit further than you thought?
I did. So I think when it was my first few years playing soccer, I was probably 8 or 9. We were the last ranked team in the playoffs. So everyone gets to the playoffs in this league. And so we were literally in last place, and we ended up winning all of our playoff games by like 1 goal. And it was like, and I was the goalie, and I was making these saves all over the place. So I still remember it. We had a Cinderella story for that soccer team.
You remember your teammates. You remember it doesn't happen very often. My sophomore year in high school, we got to the semifinals of the CIF championship in baseball. And I was not. I was a 10th grader. We had really good juniors and seniors, so I was not playing.
You had the best seat in the house.
But we went, and we were
awesome.
1 game away from getting to play at Dodger Stadium, and we got beat. And it was just, we played at Cal State LA. We played on their field in the semifinal, and it was, I want to say, high school, you play 7 innings. I think it went into the 8th inning, and we lost. And it was just,
I miss those bus rides, man. Like messing around, throwing stuff at your homies back there, or like, hey, throw me my cleats. It's just
it's the
just
best. You remember when your coach goes crazy and starts screaming,
and people
at
start
you
giggling
for some, and you all think it's funny.
Of course, it's like he's really that bad.
And it's even funnier when you're not the one on the receiving end of it. When it's your best friend it's the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life, because the second the coach walks out, you get to bust your friend all over again.
I think I told you this story. There's a kid I used to coach. It was actually one of my best friends, his first cousins. His first cousin. It's a kid I used to coach, and we got pretty far in a basketball tournament when I used to coach back at Kennedy Rec Center. So this guy now, he's probably about maybe 35 years old, something along those lines. Kellen Cobbs is his name, okay? So he becomes the head coach of Granite Hills football.
Go Eagles.
Probably 7-8 years ago. And now they're beating Helix, they're beating Morris, they're beating like real football programs in San Diego. Last year, this past football season, they won the state championship for Division II. You couldn't get any further. And he won as a coach, but you're saying all those like high school memories. I'm like, every time we went to a Granite Hills football game is how much are we going to lose by? And this dude takes them to a
not
state
when my
championship
guy
and
Ryan
wins.
O'Coin was the quarterback. My buddy from
Probably
Santa
not.
Barbara,
No,
Ryan was the quarterback of the Granite Hills Eagles.
That could have been before my time.
It is.
Before.
He's a little older than you.
Yeah.
I would imagine they were great there. I don't know. Ryan might have thrown a lot of interceptions too. I'm not quite sure. Dylan Brooks says that he had LeBron James right where he wanted him during their playoff matchup. Quote, I feel like I always had him. I feel like that series was thrown upon me because of the words that I say, but I've been saying things all year, and we won 50 games. This is literal insanity, right? Is there any part of this that makes sense to you guys?
This is the same guy that said, the media's building it up. Come on, dude.
Yeah. Am I
cares,
missing something?
Brooks?
Cares, dude. You lost.
Well, here's the funny thing. Nothing he's saying. I know what you're saying. Well, I had to keep reading it. I'm like, what is he talking about? What is he talking about? This is the guy that said, I don't respect anybody unless they drop 40 on me, whatever he said.
Yeah.
I poke the bear.
Right.
He did all that stuff.
You went home, dude.
Listen, not even they went home primarily because of him. The guy couldn't hit a shot. Go back and look at his stats. He had games where he was 3 of 15. He was like 1 of 9 from 3. I saw a stat about this article. What percentage do you think LeBron shot when Dillon Brooks was guarding him in that series?
What percentage did Dillon Brooks shoot, or did
what
LeBron
percentage
shoot?
did LeBron shoot when Dillon Brooks was guarding him in that series? And remember, Dillon Brooks is supposed to guard Bron primarily the time.
60%.
61%.
Who cares? They went home.
This is what you're saying, Jorge, is the thing that I've always. All he wants is someone to say his name. Whatever comes after Dillon Brooks doesn't matter to him. It's Dillon Brooks is a blankety blankety blank. It doesn't matter. All he hears is Dillon Brooks and goes, "Oh, somebody said my name." That's it, right?
That's it.
What comes after is the only thing that he cares.
He did get 4 years, 80 from the Rockets.
The Rockets, yeah, good. Enjoy that.
I'd take the Rockets money too.
I'd take their money. Don't get me wrong.
I would take that.
This is not a team that's
no
made
state tax.
million great decisions over the years. They're in a weird spot. A couple of happy birthdays right here. Sean Connery would have been celebrating a birthday today if he were still with us. Your favorite Bond movies? There. First of all, are you a Bond person?
I'm not a Bond person.
Okay.
Yeah,
have you seen any of the Bond movies?
I have, but I'm not I never got caught up in any of that stuff.
Okay.
Sean Connery, I think of The Rock. You and I have joked around about this
Dr.
before.
Stanley Goodspeed?
Yeah, Sean Connery is that's my tie to The Rock right there.
Emily, are you a Bond person? You're the movie person in the group.
I've never seen a single second of a Bond movie.
What's the matter with you two?
Oh, what?
Yeah, I've never seen a Bond movie. I know Sean Connery from the Celebrity Jeopardy where someone is impersonating him.
Daryl Hammond doing
so
Connery.
good.
Impersonating him. So that's what I know Sean Connery from. But yeah, no, I haven't seen any
None of them?
Bond. I don't think it's because I don't want to see it. It's just because my family didn't grow up watching it. And I just haven't gotten around to it.
What?
Where should I start?
Start with one of the more modern ones. Start with Casino Royale.
Oh, that's
Okay.
Casino Royale is a really good action movie. It's a good Bond movie. It's got it's got a good bad guy. That's important. And then you need to go see some really cheesy, because some of the Bond movies are The View to a Kill, for instance. Okay, Christopher Walken is the bad guy.
Yep.
And it's.
I can't take him seriously.
It's absurd. Well, then you need to see it because you will be able to take him even less. It is an absurd movie, but it's a Roger Moore. Jorge, you tell me you've seen a Bond movie.
Oh, of course. GoldenEye. GoldenEye is one of my favorite
Is
ones.
GoldenEye with Pierce
Brosnan?
Yeah.
Okay, that might be the only one that I think I've seen.
Quantum of Solace. That's another good one.
That's a Daniel Craig.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's another good one. That's one of my favorite ones.
Skip the Timothy Dalton Bonds.
Yeah.
Skip most of the Roger Moore ones and go Connery and go Daniel Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So, yeah, those are, exactly.
Good.
Also, Sean Connery, speaking of Sean Connery, it's one of the first movies I saw. I was in junior high, the whole medieval times era.
Mm-hmm.
That movie, First Night with Richard Gere and Sean Connery, he plays the king, King Arthur.
Good?
That movie's really good, man.
Really?
One of my favorite medieval era movies with Sean Connery.
I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen either.
I like the one medieval themed movie that had, I think it was called Robin Hood. Mason might remember this when he comes in here. Connery played Robin Hood, and the first half of the movie he uses a British accent, and the second half he doesn't. It's amazing. It's like, wait, what happened?
That's pretty good.
Why does Robin Hood sound like Crash Davis from Bull Durham?
Halfway through the film, get rid of it. We're not going back.
It's a lot. It's National Banana Split Day.
I'm in.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't had a banana split.
I'm not a banana guy.
So long.
But banana split is one of bananas. Split Bananas Foster is a pretty good dessert. Are you a banana guy, Mace?
Bananas Foster, man.
That's pretty good, right?
Oh,
they light it on
delicious.
fire.
They light it on fire. It's super sweet.
Yeah, it's got brown sugar and rum.
I go for the sweet stuff. I've got an incredible sweet tooth. So Bananas
sweet over
Foster,
savory all day?
Sweet over savory completely.
Are you going to celebrate National Banana Split Day today?
I'm not going to necessarily put it in ice cream and do all that business, but I'll have a banana.
Mace isn't too good a shape now.
Yeah,
those days he's not doing desserts.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
Not doing desserts.
At all?
No.
Not even a little cheat day?
Nah, maybe I'll have a cookie sometimes.
Donuts?
But for the most part, no.
Oh.
I'm no donuts in
You
2023.
can see it in your face.
Yeah.
He used to have
trim.
I'm getting there. Yeah.
Was it Reese's? Was it Reese's used to
Oh
have
my God! I
sent
used to
over?
have Reese's peanut butter cups delivered on Postmates.
That's the most insane thing I've ever heard. That a 75-cent item you're having delivered to your house.
It was like $10 to get them to bring two.
Why
Why
not order like 50 of them on Amazon and put them in the freezer and eat at your leisure?
Yeah, I know, but it's an impulse buy. It's an impulse buy. It's
For
late.
you.
Yeah, it is for me.
Let's do a little Super Crosstalk. right, so Mace is here. Ireland is out at Terranea. John, can you hear us all right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, by the way, how is it?
Very jealous already.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like great day. We played with 2 listeners, Liz and John. They were both awesome.
How'd they play? How'd you play? How'd Greg play?
Liz and I took down John and Greg we played match play, so we got them by 1 hole.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
So
very close
match. Yeah, it was competitive. Everybody had some good shots. Everybody had some bad shots.
Was it a scramble, a best ball? How does that work?
Everybody played their own ball, and we just did. If you got the best score in a hole, the low man, or in Liz's case, won. Liz parred the first hole. She got us off to a good start.
Oh, nice.
Great start.
And
nice.
then I birdied the second hole, and we just held on to the lead after that.
So,
Terranea, it's like a perfect day here. The sun's out.
Good.
It's. I mean, Mace, you were here last week.
I was there last week. Terranea is absolutely beautiful. I mean, the one thing, Slee, you were there too, right?
Yeah.
The one thing, John, you always say is absolutely true, which is it's Hawaii without ever getting on a plane.
Okay, so Greg's here, and Greg had never set foot on this property until last night. So, Greg, what are your impressions of Terranea as a first-timer?
This is the most beautiful place that I think I've ever been to in my life. I'm not even joking. I lived in Hawaii.
I was going to say, you lived in Hawaii, Greg.
Right. Yeah. This is a whole nother world out here.
Wow. Yeah. No,
Greg's going to get like a residence there.
Well, no, I want it. I want to be their influencer.
Now, are you saying? Did you go to any restaurants? Did you have time to go to any restaurants?
He went to Bashi.
Oh, Bashi's delicious.
I went to Bashi, got some good sushi, and I got a lychee martini that was delicious.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, tell me more.
It was
lychee.
Yeah, lychee martini. I use gin instead of vodka because I like gin vodka.
Me too, Bert.
I hate gin.
Me too.
Well, Mace, you were just talking about how you're not eating desserts.
Yes.
Larry, the chef at Nelson's, made this dessert plate for us. I think we've all gained 10 pounds.
Oh, really?
Here.
It's worth it.
Yeah, and now then they put us in this casita to do the show, and I'm staring at like a giant dessert plate of fruit and chocolate chip cookies. I think I want to redo my deal to do the show from here at all times.
Yeah, live from Terranea.
See, John, I think once a quarter we should do this.
Once a month.
Well,
we start slow and come build it back up.
Emily was telling me that she saw the post that you had, Greg. You're kind of showing off your room and everything.
Oh my God.
Are you just fully leaning into your luxurious lifestyle? Is this going to be the way that you roll full time now?
No, that's it. This is what I am now.
Were you able to hit any of the pools, or is that out of?
So after dinner last night, I went down to the jacuzzi and I sat in the jacuzzi by myself for about 10 minutes. And it was fantastic. Gave me a nice feeling good, and went back into bed and went to bed.
Nice.
It
was wonderful.
It's a perfect night.
I was.
What do we have to do?
Wait a minute. Are you sitting around in your hotel robes?
Loosely tied.
We're pretty close right now.
They have to be.
We're sitting. Mace, you remember you ate at Marcel?
Yeah.
They gave us the casita. Marcel's the nicest restaurant here.
It is absolutely
beautiful. They gave us the casita right above Marcel, so we're looking at the ocean and looking at the patio of Marcel. It's like you forget about life when you come here. It's really, I've said it's Southern California's best kept secret. If you've never been here, and I've been bugging Greg to get here for 7 years, I don't think. Trav, have you ever been here?
I have not.
Okay, I don't think I can sell it to you.
Sells itself.
Well, Greg's like a good example of this. I've been beating him over the head for 7 years to get here. Until you actually did it, I don't think you realized what you were missing. Is that accurate?
That's absolutely accurate. I didn't know what this place was going to be. I've seen pictures, but then when you walk in, you're just like, wow, the views are incredible.
I'll tell you,
everywhere, all 360 view.
I'll tell you a true story. So we went to Marcel for dinner, which is just a stunning view. Stunning view. And Juan got pretty drunk.
Okay.
So Juan at least 20 times said to me, "This is the greatest view I have ever seen."
Why?
Look at that. You can see the ocean right there.
You've sold me on two things, the view and that the drinks are good.
Yeah,
so
drinks
I'm in.
are good.
I'm going to follow Juan's lead. I'm going to be the guy saying it over and over again.
I'll say this, too. I had never played all 9 holes of the golf course until now. A few times I dragged Lisa out there to play, and we either stopped because it was raining or we just wanted to go ride bikes or something. But we played all 9 today. It is the nicest 9-hole golf course I've ever seen. Every hole you hit into the ocean.
Oh, that sounds nice.
It is. I mean, it's perfect. It's almost. I know Mace mentioned, I always say it's like going to Hawaii without getting on a plane. In a lot of ways, it has more to offer than Hawaii because there's just nothing you can't do here.
So, Trav,
yeah.
Go onto my Twitter at @corporate_Greg, and you can see a couple of holes and what they look like. It
Okay.
is beautiful.
I'm doing that right now. So, John, you've said it a couple of times that it reminds you of going to Hawaii without having to get on a plane. Here's every experience I've ever had to Hawaii, and tell me if this is the same thing that would happen to me if I go to Terranea. I haven't been to Hawaii in maybe 10 years or so, but I've been 3 or 4 times in my life. Every time I'm there, I have the same experience, which is I'm moving here. I have to find a job. I never want to go home, and this is going to be how I set up my life moving forward. Will I have that same experience?
Oh, well, Trav, you'll want to live – like Sedano lives about 10 minutes from here.
Okay.
I don't think he's ever going to move. I think he'll live here. I mean, we'll ask him when he comes in, but this is God's country out here. That's the first thing I said to Greg when I saw him this morning. I said, we finally got you here, and now – you're going to come back. But
no, I live here now.
It is –
it's your
Trav,
residence.
it is really – Slee and Mace have both been here within the last month for the first time. Once you come, it's like going if you're a professional sports fan, it's like the first time you go to an NHL game.
Yeah.
You can't describe to people how fun it is. You can't describe that they're actually on skates and you're a little colder and they're hitting each other and slamming into boards.
It's fast.
And the excitement that's in there. And
Terranea is like going to a hockey game.
But it's in that way. It's until you experience it, you really – like you guys, Slee and Mace, you guys know I've been beating you guys over the head to get down here. And you guys finally both did it.
For
and
a very long before they became an advertiser and a sponsor and a partner and all that stuff, you were still – talking about going to Terranea.
Right. Well, I come here every
year
year for the NBA All-Star break, and it is. I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to go anywhere else.
Do you guys want to know our view from in here? Because the studio is beautiful today.
We have
Mace is all SC.
I'm SC.
He's ready to go.
Yep, I'm ready for tomorrow.
I can see Sedano.
That's
a
right.
cutout of Sedano. A cutout of Ireland.
Are you guys jealous?
Legalized marinara is Ireland's standing
the hole in the wall
shirt.
from when John threw
That's right.
Slee's.
I thought I put a T-shirt to cover that hole up.
Yeah,
it was taken down.
It's fallen.
There's a little Waba Grill over there. There's some LeBron,
the Mandy Awards, the
Mandy
7th.
Awards. There's Aaron Donald. This place is
gorgeous.
You will not recognize it.
You
jealous, Mace?
We win. Hate to tell you this.
Definitely.
How did you not get down there to just at least take in the sights?
Because I've been there. First of all, I was there last week. Secondly, I'm just not much of a golfer.
And by the way, we could not have been
we
could not have been luckier with listeners. The 2 listeners that won, Liz and John, were just great sports.
Personable.
Yeah, good golfers. They were just great.
That's awesome.
So I hope we do this, several more times when we're partnered with Terranea. They told me an interesting story, Mace, that whether it was Clay Helton or Lincoln Riley or Steve Sarkisian, Terranea is a USC partner.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
so
I guess that's true. Yeah,
they
I remember
put
seeing him.
the coach up here until he can find a house.
Oh.
And
I wouldn't be looking hard.
I was just going to say, I wouldn't look. I don't know how long Lincoln Riley stayed here, but I would have stayed here for 3 months.
He's next door, actually. He's in the casino next door.
Still looking. We can't find the right place.
I'm looking at your pictures, Berg. These are great.
Yeah.
Go to Greg's
Isn't that a
Twitter
view?
account,
Isn't that a
@corporate
great
Greg.
view?
It looks like you're somewhere other than LA.
No, it's
it
beautiful.
really does. You're head to toe SC today, Mace. Are you going tomorrow?
I'm going tomorrow. Yeah.
So, Mace, what happens to the other tickets, the 2 tickets that Cappy made you buy for him that he's not using?
I've got them back.
Okay, so what are you going to do with them?
I don't know. I just don't know. Right now, the group is Alex Michelson from Channel 11 plus 1, me and Morales. That's the group.
Okay.
And I've asked around a little. Bergman, can I do listeners?
Yeah, why not?
Ask Tommy.
Yeah. Always talk to Tommy.
Run it by
Tommy.
Run it by
Do
Tommy.
it first.
I mean, like,
there are contest rules. You just
Ask for forgiveness.
No.
They beat it over my head that I can't give away my own tickets, which is in essence, Mace, what you would be doing.
Yeah, you cannot.
Do you know
went
spread?
through this. Remember, you want to have another 9 o'clock meeting, Mace?
Yeah, Mace. Remember the time we did this? We gave away my Laker tickets on the air, and they held a corporate-wide meeting the next day, like New York and Chicago had to do
It's
it.
the largest Zoom call I was ever on.
I'm like, I think we screwed up here.
Don't do it, Mace.
All right.
Take a friend.
It's a 31-point spread.
Yes.
Do they have to win by 31 or more? Do you feel good about what you're seeing?
I think they are going to cover and roll.
They better. They have a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, and they're playing San Jose State. They should win by 30.
That's a lot of points.
In fact, mythical money. I am going to bet 20,000 mythical dollars on the on the Trojans to cover the 31 points.
All right.
We are giving our predictions. How many wins this year for SC? What do you think?
12 regular season games.
11. They'll stub their toe somewhere.
He's 11.
Yeah, I'm 11.
10-2.
Yeah, 10-2.
10-2 would be a disappointment. I'll be honest. 10-2 would be
would. Takes them out of the mix.
Yeah, one of those losses to UCLA, of course.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they'll lose to UCLA. They'll lose to
simultaneously.
At the same time.
Trav and I said, "Yeah, right." Simultaneously, when you said,
didn't even look at each other.
I am excited to see DTR's 11th year as the quarterback of the Bruins.
He's in Cleveland.
They love him in Cleveland.
I saw
finally happened.
I saw highlights of DTR.
No,
he actually looks okay.
He looks really good.
Yeah,
actually.
Small hands.
You know who looked great last year? Bryce Perkins.
Oh yeah, Bryce Perkins. Where is he now? He's not even on the practice squad, is he?
No, he's not on. He's not on the Rams practice squad.
Right.
He's. Somewhere.
What do you think of Stetson Bennett in the preseason so far?
Good, not great.
Yeah, I thought acceptable.
Yeah, I look. He's a brand new NFL player,
Yep.
playing the most complicated position in all of sports.
Yep.
And he looked like he wasn't overwhelmed.
Correct.
I think that's about the best you can hope for.
And I think he has a chance. But I don't necessarily think he's the quarterback of the future. I don't think they're going to build everything around Stetson Bennett.
Ask Emily what she's excited most about for covering Rams preseason football.
Em, what are you most excited about covering Rams preseason football?
For it to be over?
That is a moment of honesty.
Let's
right
get the regular
there.
season going, guys. I'm excited for the regular season.
By the way, Emily, I can't believe somebody who's as culture driven as you, like you've seen and watch everything. You've never seen 1 minute of a James Bond movie.
Right. So, I mean, it kind of was like I didn't watch Star Wars until COVID because my family just didn't grow up watching Star Wars. It seems like a little bit of a daunting task to get started. So I'm going to watch them eventually. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Because it's been going on since like the early 70s.
Yeah, of course.
60s. Yeah.
No, I am aware of the cultural significance of 007 and, Shaken Not Stirred. I understand those references. I just haven't watched it yet.
Okay. John, your not your favorite movie, but your favorite Bond actor.
I think they're all. I laugh when people rip anybody who's played Bond. I think they've all been pretty convincing.
I disagree.
I also disagree.
I think Daniel Craig and Pierce Brosnan both totally held their own.
I thought Pierce Brosnan was not good.
I agree.
Yeah.
If you made me pick, I would pick Connery.
Connery's the right guy. Roger Moore was a little bit foofy, but I still like Roger
Moore. Is
Moore.
like almost camp.
Yeah, it was camp.
It was almost good that Daniel Craig is the perfect amount of smooth and badass.
Yeah.
Like the guy George Lazenby.
George Lazenby only did one.
He only did one.
He did Casino Royale, I think.
Yeah. No, he's Timothy Dalton, not a great Bond.
Not good at all. I think he only made
fine.
one. He was not fine.
I think
did he make two?
I think he made more than one. Two or three.
They bounced him after
Brosnan was
early.
I don't know.
And now they're
not tough enough.
They're looking for somebody late 20s, early 30s because it's a 10-year commitment.
Is
for
that what it
James
is?
Bond. You're committing for 10 years and 3 movies.
He's not
or
late
4
20s
movies.
or early 30s, but a name that I have seen floated before that I think is a great idea.
Yep.
Idris Elba.
There's a lot of talk about that, but there's also a lot of talk that he's too old.
Yeah. How old is Idris Elba? Probably mid-40s, 50, something like that?
I think he's in his
50s.
Yeah, I think he's in his 50s.
Have any of you guys ever seen the miniseries The Night Manager?
Oh, God, yes.
I have not.
It's Hiddleston.
Yeah.
If they can get Tom Hiddleston to do it, he's the guy. I mean, in The Night Manager, he basically is doing an audition.
He's doing
for
James Bond in that. If
Yeah.
you've never seen The Night Manager, it's a great little miniseries that is kind of what would you compare that to?
Although Mace, he's 40. I just looked it up. He's 42.
Yes,
Hiddleston is Loki,
Elba's
right?
50.
Elba's 50.
But even 42?
Yeah, he's Loki.
Get 3
He's
movies
Loki.
over the next 10 years?
42 to 52. I guess you could do that.
Tom Hiddleston is in good shape, I'm asking.
Oh, yeah, Tom Hiddleston.
Then-
he's
Oh,
a
yeah.
great
He
actor.
can
He
pull
played
off.
Loki in all the Marvel movies.
Oh, okay. He dated Taylor Swift, Emily?
He did. Getaway Cars based off him.
See, you should watch it for no other reason than
For
than
that. Yeah, exactly.
The Taylor Swift
Is
connection.
Em, is Getaway Car ripping Hiddleston or being nice to him?
Kind of rip, kind of nice. She was responsible for the breakup. So that's what the song's about.
Okay, got it.
Al was just about to say the same.
Yeah.
Great song.
Look, when you have as many breakups as her, the one thing they all have in common is her.
Yeah, well, okay. This is my favorite line that I've heard from any athlete. I don't know if he's the originator,
that's good.
But it's the first time I heard it, so I give him credit.
Yeah.
I heard Jerome Bettis say this at one point.
Yep.
If everywhere you go it smells like crap, it's
probably
probably you.
you.
It's probably you. So,
exactly.
there you go. Super Crosstalk is brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out, that's what a hamburger is all about. We'll see you on Monday.